Information?
Yeah, your speed is
So,
cancelled.
session 6, I believe we're starting, right?
Yes.
For the
Yes.
purposes of recording.
Your speed is gone. Sorry.
Episode 6, your speeder's gone. Sorry.
My speeder.
My speeder. Yeah, so that's
Should we
essentially...
maybe introduce people that are talking, since it's all audible anyway? Like, saying that Emma's here, Craig's here, and Allan's here?
Emma is indeed here, I am.
Is that like easier, instead of just being like, who's actually there? So we've done that, good.
Nico's not here, but he might be.
Yeah, we'll wait and see if he turns up. He's possibly fallen asleep.
Ghost beats.
Alright, so Craig, keep going. You were doing well.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys all found a bed in like a pub basically for that night when you first arrived.
Yeah.
The speeder was sold for help in rescuing cave team. Back to cave on that one.
It was
So
a
you
guy
would-
called Largo that you guys had essentially found, and he was happy to go basically get his space pickup truck and go pick them up from there. But you basically just went, well, your speeder broke when you got to the swoop bike, I should say, not the speeder, but your swoop bike broke when you got to the settlement of. I think we didn't actually ever name the settlement because I don't think it would have had a name. It was too small to have had a name. Let's say that.
Yeah.
It's easier and more arbitrary.
Settlement X.
Yes.
So ran wandering around, like we assumed you and Andar would have been wandering around doing whatever, and everyone doing their own thing. Ren found essentially an available job, which is a scavenge job. Blah blah blah. He wanted his hat. He didn't get the guy's hat. That's all to say about that. Back to cave team. Cave team resolve issues. Back to sand team. Sand team go to a bar. Back to cave team. The pickup truck arrives.
So many screen wipes.
So many. We're in Tatooine, makes sense. So, yeah, we're rescued by this hick with the the speeder truck thing.
His name was Largo.
Sorry?
His name was Largo.
Largo. I didn't write that down. Oh well. I didn't care.
You never asked him what his name was when he came to pick you up.
Oh.
I wouldn't have cared.
Yeah? So that's why you don't know his name?
Yeah, so we met up with all of you guys. Ren's now being known as the Wish Goblin of Tatooine.
He found a fiver.
He's stealing coins from the wishing well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he also granting the wishes?
Depends on the wish, I guess. It's like a wish-to-wish basis, really. If you
Wishes
terms
to
and
get him a
conditions,
drink, then
sand may apply.
Lemon goblins are a drink.
He was drinking a lot of lemon goblins in the bar. That sounds wrong now that I say it out loud, and hear it.
So the guy who got a job from was
Graham.
Graham. ARG Graham.
His first name was ARGH.
ARGH, sorry. ARGH Graham.
Ah, Graham.
And
It's exactly what you think it is, Gib. It's exactly that.
Graham's posse consisted of himself, a Wookiee called Lily, and
you forgot
Cyanine, Emma's character.
Me.
Which is the protocol.
You're missing
Droid.
one person from that crew.
Who?
Well, we didn't discover her until later.
Yeah.
But
Isn't it
the
bar?
crew consisted of is false.
So far. Yeah, so bar hijinks happen. Not really much really goes on there except, EJ everyone decides that they're taking the job, and EJ, there's no spaces left for EJ to continue, so EJ is now left in Tatooine.
Sucks to be.
It does, but it's fine because he had sex with me, and that's really
The only thing
his
that
goal.
matters.
Really, that was his goal. Yep.
He has fulfilled his function as an NPC.
And fulfilled Thalia?
He came, he saw, he fucked off.
Exactly. So unconscious dude 101939. 939 came to me in a dream. No, he just came, grabbed me off the street, dragged me to this back room.
He said that.
Literally, this is everything that happened. Dragged me to this back room where there was a bed with flowers and
then
all
he
these
dragged you?
ointments and smoky things going on with the room. It was very
Some
cool.
of this may not have happened.
This is how I remember.
Karen.
So, you want to keep going, Craig?
Yeah, sure.
Or just, as soon as you
But it
finish
turns
that-
out
Oh,
it was
sorry.
this spiritual type healer back room, and essentially paying me back for saving his life.
Or choke slamming you to the ceiling.
Yeah.
What
So
if-
there I met an old lady,
Named.
Tatswina,
Tattoo
also known as Granny Tats.
named by the group.
Granny Tats. She's a sweet old lady. I'm gonna get a Christmas card. I'm not
Never
sure when.
space Christmases.
Never Tatooine's Christmases. Never. Santa doesn't go there anymore. Yeah, so healed, blah, blah, blah. So payment done, and yeah.
Yeah, because it was quite a mighty blow you took from being tossed into the ceiling.
It's a minor scrape with heavily wounded stuff. Yeah, so that Granny Tats did her job well. Screen wipe. EJ's playing his stolen banjo.
You just found that banjo.
I specifically have stolen with
Stolen
quotations.
banjo.
At a dry fountain, playing for cash. Ren walks over. They have a very touching bro moment. And,
Broman.
Essentially Ren gives him his spare blaster. And they have another bro moment of,
I will come back for you.
yeah.
Nobody else gave a fuck.
Pen goes out and sells her extra blaster that she got from escaping of the Empire. Episode 2, whatever that title was.
Night Flight Part 2.
I believe it's different.
What you've written down and what is fact is different, Craig.
Oh, this was all too. Oh, I don't actually have a subtitle for that. Oh well, I'll defer to you for this.
Yeah, you're so kind.
It's no sexual lightning. But
No, sexual lightning by far was sexual lightning. Like that's lightning does not strike twice, except for Thalia.
Maybe your glorious return episode will be called Sexual Lightning. Maybe you'll
No,
appear
it'll be
in a boat
sexual
with-
lightning. Lightning returns.
That'll be lightning does strike twice.
You got a reference.
And then
And then
we went to a
No.
hat shop, right?
Yeah. Essentially, we went to Mosilla. Is it Mosilla, right?
Mosilla, yeah.
Black.
Mosilla, which is where the space dock is that we're leaving from
Work,
to
work,
go to
fashion, baby.
scavenge mission, and essentially big market there. We all go off and do our own thing. I preemptively rolled for the night before, so I had gone out and had some fun with somebody, and it turns out I pulled some pretty rich person and got 2,000 credits for it. So, yeah. Sexual lightning.
It wasn't for the sex though, it was just to make
No, exactly. Because I was, been in the desert for like a week and still hadn't had a shower yet. So, yeah.
Have to buy yourself something nice.
Yeah, Pen goes and looks for essentially toolkits and all that kind of stuff, and kind of she asks Thalia for help in bartering, which goes horribly wrong. So Thalia ditches her and says it's your problem, and it's all good. And then they all walk away, with the guy holding the blaster saying you should probably leave. Then Virtue and Pen head to the ship, meet Lily, the Wookiee from the bar. Then Ren and Cyanine go to the hat shop. Continue.
We went to a hat shop.
It's called Hats and Hats.
That's nice.
Big holographic hat, big suspenders outside.
Brilliant.
It's very fancy. And
Very
then
fancy.
Ren bought a fabulous hat with Cynine's money.
Mhm.
But it's okay because he's going to pay me back. It's good.
Where did you take your money from?
Out of my foot.
One might say delivery in the first session was way better.
Way better.
Because a human I met once told me to keep all of my spare money in my shoe. So I eased off a panel on my leg and pulled my credits out of it. And it was cute.
It's not a shoe she's wearing though, it's just one that's like in a panel.
yeah,
And so
guys don't normally wear clothes. I got
Ours does. Yeah, you should probably describe what your character looks like, actually. That's probably a good point as well.
It probably used to be the kind of gold colour of the 3PO droids that we are all aware of, but over time on Tatooine, it's kind of dulled because of the sand. So it probably, well, Cyanide probably looks more kind of sand stained and a bit grubby and dull. And
But that makes your eyes pop.
oh yeah. And they also have a big kind of heavy duty lab coat, but it's all kind of tattered and a bit mangled and horrid. But you know, as far as droids can have sentimental value for a thing, Cyanide probably does for the lab coat. So they continue to wear it in spite of its appearance.
Right?
So it's a cape.
Well, it hasn't been until now.
That would be fashioned into a science cape.
A cape for science.
Equipped with all the latest science.
Science cape. Oh, Cyanide also has glasses, I suppose we should
She's air quoting that.
in air quotes. That kind of
Doing the air quotes to the microphone
doesn't really work.
still doesn't change the fact that they're visual.
True that. But they generally sit kind of slanted, so she always looks like she has kind of puppy dog eyes with these little glass lenses things sticking up. But whenever a moment of science occurs, they will kind of slot down and she will look, well, they will look through
that
them.
anime moment where you go,
And
push up your
you mean the
nose.
CDs, right? Where you flip.
Well, I imagine one thing that
I'm imagining.
Cyanide does, again, from just, you know, obviously taking advice from organics and things in the field, is they probably just kind of tap the space on their face where their nose would be whenever the glasses come down, because obviously they don't have to push the glasses up their nose, but it's just a thing that they've seen other people doing, so just kind of
She's almost got this
Meat
little
bags.
yeah, just kind of taps the space between where the glasses are before science occurs.
I'm imagining
Engage science.
female robot Alan Statham.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous. Female robot Alan Statham is
Does
one of my
it-
spirit animals. I'll add it to the spirit torture man collective.
Does it swish when I go around corners?
I like it.
I've got you a present. Well, let's not continue that.
Flies! Daddy, nasty flies in your eyes!
Yep. So before the rating of this show goes up, skyrocketing, keep going, catching back up. Or there's still more.
So
Yes. Hat
after
shop
the excellent
shenanigans.
hat
Yeah.
shop, Ren goes off to help Andar and
Lemonade.
Lemony and yourself all moving cargo, while Lily, Cyanide, and myself are all standing watching the hard labour going on, just having a moment, you know, us three gals, you know. When Zoe, which is 111939, walks by and nobody seems to notice or care, and Lily's job is security, because Wookiee
Oh.
can't progress
Oh.
further than security apparently. Glass ceilings and all that. So- I'm going for the Tumblr vote.
With their glass ceilings and your non-Wookiee rights.
It's just us gals, right?
I'm a genderless robot. Stop projecting.
Yeah,
I'm projecting all over you.
You
You
know
will
it-
accept it because it's my truth.
you know what gender Lily is. You never asked.
She's a beautiful woman.
Lily is not
Sensual.
constrained by your gender construct.
She's a beautiful hairy woman, and I accept her for who she is.
Maybe his name's Lee and he's just quite small.
Lily. Lily. I like it.
Maybe. We'll never know. Because I don't speak
no, we
Wookiee.
know. We know.
Well, to sex a Wookiee, you take two fingers.
No, apart.
No, we don't.
Abandoning
This
this.
might be useful information for my character, so I might need to refer to this.
So Zoe, I believe we're at.
So Zoe walks past the hangar, and Cyanide turns to Lily and essentially asks, you know, who is this person? You know, you're not doing anything, so I assume. And Lily responds, nobody speaks Wookiee, so we just assume that everything's fine. Or that Lily even notices her, or him.
Well, technically Cyanide does speak Wookiee. She's never said she doesn't speak Wookiee.
But she didn't understand.
I never. That's what.
She didn't
But
understand.
you know that she has translated Wookiee for you before.
Wait, do I not speak basic Wookiee?
No, you don't. Basic Wookiee are two different things. Basic and Wookiee are two separate languages.
Cyanide probably doesn't speak Wookiee, but I think they probably think that they do.
Yeah, we
Oh,
agreed.
sorry, no, it's basic, in quotations, simple Huttese.
Yeah, it's Huttese we gave you. I think because it had the word tease in it. But that's maybe why you learned it.
Yeah.
And Cyanide
No.
doesn't understand Wookiee, but will still translate it nonetheless.
Right, okay.
And I believe that's what we agreed on last week, because it's like, it'd be more interesting if you didn't know Wookiee. And she went,
Logically, a 7-foot hairy organic would say this.
So Zoe continue walks on, heads towards the ship, and essentially where Andar, Ren, and Pen are all. He drags them off into
Secret bro chat.
another room,
it was
No,
off to the
just
side.
a sign.
just off to the side. Yeah.
They had a soliloquy actually.
And then they had a talk about
I know what it is.
temples and protecting Jedi orders and such.
On your
And
lapel, now it's down your top.
Brilliant.
Carry on.
what happened with your breasts?
Emma,
just
Got
gonna-
the
your
crunch here.
attention-seeking droid whore.
Stop
That's my
projecting,
job.
Ryan.
What was I projecting? My voice? Right, so quick, start that again.
No, like, well,
Ren, Pen.
yeah, you
and-
explain. 'Cause
Okay, well, I'll give you the most abridged version I can. You were there for the wake up in the cave. They kind of de-escalated the cave issues by having a very brisk chat about things, meaning I'm right back at the start to catch up.
So
So,
just when you said you were at the cave,
well, you remember I said the cave
Yes.
from the last
That
session,
was-
where like he woke up and was a bit amped up, shall we say. He eased off a bit and then had a discussion with them, found out it was on Tatooine, wondered why the hell they were on Tatooine, and then asked them what next steps were. They showed him the technology EJ had cobbled together, and then they all ate some Tatooine bird.
I
And then,
summarised it nice.
yeah, no, like, that was good. And then obviously EJ and Thalia had a bit of an away because Craig had to check in on his addiction that should have been rolling many setback dice since it has been many days since his addiction had been sated. Oh yeah, his sex addiction. So
Just sex.
we dealt with that, and then we cut between you guys at the settlement. You guys, the speeder itself, the swoop bike had broke as you pretty much got to the settlement, but you had all went off to do separate things. So I think you had went off and you arranged getting rid of the speeder, just to make it less of a blow to you, to make you actually do it yourself. And you traded that because the guy's like, well, if you don't have any money, why would I go out into the desert to potentially die, or perhaps be jumped upon by people? So you traded him this swoop bike for that because he can use the parts at least. And he went and picked them up, but obviously considering it took you a couple of days to get there, it was going to take him at least a day. So you guys pretty much like scoped around town, looked for work, got like some lodgings and stuff, and basically got cleaned up a bit and some supplies and stuff. Basic stuff to keep alive, and prepare for the fact that you have 4 people potentially coming, or maybe not, because you don't know the situation you're in. They get picked up and then taken back to the settlement itself. There's some bar conversations. That's all pretty much exactly as it went. And then they spoke to Mr. Graham, who had a job for them, which was the salvage job, basically, to go and salvage a spaceship. That's it. That's literally as much information as they cared to really kind of delve into. They know that there's about 100k worth of salvage guaranteed, so that's split between everyone after the operational costs are deducted from the mission. So operational costs come off the top, then everybody gets a fair share, basically.
okay.
Beyond that, at that night, in fact, because they were looking for Zoe his full name's Safer Zoe. They got that eventually out of him as he discussed it. I think it was you he spoke to first about his full name, maybe when you were
No, it
walking.
was Penn.
Was it Penn? Yeah.
He spoke to me
That was
after
later.
treatment.
So I spoke to her about that with his full name, just so we got that. And he went to where Thalia was staying, Craig's character, and basically said, "Come with me." He takes her kind of down a few side alleys and basically takes her to this kind of almost shamaning lady, who basically wraps him in leaves and dirt and straw and twigs and chants at him quite a bit, and then he comes back out fully healed. And it's kind of a, you healed me, I healed you, I kind of caused all those wounds, kind of agreement nod that they had. You asked something, but I forget what it was. I think you were just kind of like talking to him, but I can't really remember the exact thing.
Yeah, I was trying to keep dialogue going, because every time I tried to speak with him, it was kind of a case of, like, payment is done. And it's like, and Ryan's like, and he walks off, and I'm like, will I catch up with him?
Okay.
Because I have questions.
Where are we going, friend?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think I noted down whatever I asked him, so I guess it wasn't really that important.
I think it was just like, well, literally we could just listen to it back, but we wouldn't.
No.
That can be caught up later. It wasn't important enough to keep a note of, obviously. Fast forward to the journey to Moss Silla, which is the big city, if you will. Moss City, Moss Shuta, Moss Isley, Moss Silla was made up for this. As you were waiting to go to Dock 12, you meandered through the market.
Did we find a kind of fox that was on fire?
No.
Okay.
Not yet. There's still time. That would be Zilla, I guess. Scylla. But yeah, I'm on board with that. You got there and you basically had about 12 hours of market time, if you wish, before they wanted to kick off, basically. There was some time spent in the market, and then there was... You'd pretty much went ahead with, I believe it was Nico's character, Andar. You went ahead to pretty much help the crew set up their ship, I guess. Probably more from a kind of scoping it out, kind of making sure it's all kind of above board and you're not just being taken to space to be murdered kind of deal. I figured that's what you did. Just kind of why you kind of in my head sort of became the kind of leader. Just because you were the one they dealt with the most. You and Andar.
Did I have any more money to spend in these shops? Because I'd probably pick up another medkit.
You have whatever you got on. Unless you're going to go sell something or... I deliberately ended the session, that I'll get to at some point, without taking off for this exact reason, in case people wanted to still do something last minute on the planet. It also meant I get to play around with the narrative, considering we're down 3 people. So I'll just change that. So yeah, basically outside docking bay 12, you had obviously Lily, Cyanine and Thalia kind of chatting away. And I can't remember, like I think Ren and that had, they were back by this point and went back inside to the dock as people were moving crates in and out and stuff. And then Safer Zoe turns up, walks past like the security, nobody really seems to notice, and then takes the 3 aside, Ren, Penn and Andar, and they basically just have a bit of a chat, and Safer Zoe basically says, I know why you were all wanted by the Empire, I think you 3 should come with me, I want to train you 3, because I don't really feel comfortable leaving you to the whims of the galaxy, was the summary of it basically. And I described the feeling everybody would get was kind of like they were incredibly trusting and kind of okay with him. There was no like, this is weird or shifty, or it was a really like quite a strong impulse of almost like familiarity with him. That was quite a distinct thing that they felt, and as if nobody else seemed to bother him being there. Beyond that, they asked a couple of questions about things. I asked him what he knew, he asked them what they knew about stuff. The word Inquisitor was thrown around. So that's maybe the part I'd say go listen to on the recording, which is like probably the last hour or something. But yeah, that conversation had more detail than I currently hold in my head.
Sorry.
Beyond that, you can listen to it or not, it's up to you how much you care about what they were actually said, but relatively interesting for them. And he said, come back here for me, and we can do that. I don't think if you want to go on the salvage mission, that doesn't bother me. I have stuff I can do, but please come back here. Out with that, those three aren't here, so maybe that's just where they went. We'll find out. It depends how we end the session and how things kind of tie up for next week. But with that, Ren then decided to go and like help out moving stuff again. The captain was then visible. Her name was Twyla Brown. She is a red-skinned Twi'lek lady, captain of the ship, kind of goggles on her forehead, and she's like, "This is the best you've got," and like speaking to Graham. And then Ren rolls some force-enhanced jumping, I believe, and does like a jump on top of some crates and then backflipped on top of the ship. The ship is called the Tula Labamba. It's dark green kind of freighter that has a painting of a Twi'lek lying on her side, and also, you know, a sunset behind it in a palm tree. The model of ship, because I don't think MD, did MD actually see a picture of the ship?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is the, let me just bring up a picture of it for you guys. It's a YT-2400. But I think last week it was Stephen that showed everyone a picture of it. Let me just load up an image just now for you guys. To anyone listening, fuck you. You can't see it. Just Google it, it'd be easier. Other search engines exist.
Episode 6, 3 1.
There. That's it there.
I'll somehow make that work.
Yep. That's the freighter you guys are on.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Cool. You know what it looks like then.
Da-da-da-da.
So, as soon as he did all his backflips and stuff, I believe we ended the session with her looking back to Mr. Graham after Ren does his amazingly successful backflips on top of the ship, which looks quite superhuman. She said, I've got a bad feeling about this. And then we just screen wiped and finished there. And I figured leaving it there was probably a better idea because, again, I like you guys having a bit of time to like narratively clean up whatever you want to do on Tatooine before fucking off. And what I'll do is, depending on what the other three people actually want to do, just open it.
I'm trying to. Is it just not fucking open?
I'm going to use my heat magic.
You did it.
Fire powers.
I have the power.
I don't know what's on.
Ren learned good from his conflict, his morality conflict.
Yeah, because he,
learned
So good.
good from it.
because he was showing off, and
Thank
he
you.
got conflict from that. And he wanted to have that conversation with Nico, basically for Andor, since he's kind of his mentor. So that because he was able to actually recover from the conflict roll, he rolled high enough to move up. So he's now at 53, so he's doing quite good. That means he kind of liked the idea that maybe he went to Andor, or Andor came to him and basically said to him, was like, I know why you did it, but don't do it, because you're showing off. And it's you want to look competent and impress the captain and stuff to say that we're actually worth it, but also you're drawing attention we don't need, or the wrong kind of attention. So hopefully we'll have that RP at some point in the future when they're both here. But until then, we're doing a salvage mission in space. So we'll jump in here, I guess, and everything that's not here, just assume they're not here. Maybe they got off with Safer Zoe, maybe they stick around. Just we'll deal with them in the narrative.
Episode 6, The Missing Crew.
I generally name them after it because I like to take something that was relatively memorable that happened in the episode. So this might just be called episode 6 recap.
Episode 6, The Flashback.
I mean, it's been 5 episodes. People need to catch up. Since we recorded one previous session. But yeah, so we're back in. She just said, I've got a bad feeling about this. We screen wiped back to her, and you can be coming down the ramp of the Tula Labamba, and you guys, obviously, you were pretty much at the group of the 3, with Safer Zoe, and you got close, I think, as well. I think you followed up.
Everyone kind of like dispersed, and I went back to stand with Lily again.
Yeah, because that's when
Yeah.
Ren did his backflips and stuff. Yeah. so they kind of dispersed. Yeah, so you've got time to go and do stuff, or we can just scream out to space travel if you're all okay with what you've got.
I'm going to pick up some medical supplies.
Yeah.
Oh good, I need this.
Excellent.
Got back to our stim pack and some sin skin.
So you wanted to buy that?
Yeah.
Cool. Do you want to make a roll to actually see if you can source Bacta on this planet?
Okay.
Cool. Do you remember how much stim packs cost the last time? I think I said 100.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said 100 to Naomi when she looked for stim packs last week.
I actually did write something down.
I took less notes because I recorded stuff, but this is a market that's open air to the desert.
Yeah.
This isn't exactly like a, you can just take the prices from the book for granted type place.
Oh no, that was the extra blaster I was thinking of. I have no idea how much you said.
100 sounds good. Reasonable.
I'm pretty sure it was 100 I said.
Mm-hmm.
Might have said 80. I'm sure my non-existent fans will let me know.
Oh my god, it was a.
Just keep in mind that
Let it be known.
somebody
Ella is
probably
stripping for the
wasn't
record.
telling about how much cash they've got. Isn't that right, Thalia? As you come back with your cred chicks in your hand, fanning yourself with them.
Of course.
Sex.
Sex happened.
So, when it comes to getting items, let me know what you're looking for, and I'll let you know if it's available and how much it costs. Because where you are, it's heavily dependent on what will actually be lying around. You can't just guarantee that med supplies and stuff will be there.
Okay.
You can probably assume that the Tool of Bamba has an emergency med kit at the very least, but beyond that, that's about it.
Can I buy new clothes?
Did you buy new clothes? Because you didn't tell me you did.
We haven't left port yet.
Yeah, you can go buy it now. If you want to go buy new clothes, yes.
Cool. Can I do that?
Sure.
Can I follow? I'm quite a good shopping buddy.
You don't need to ask for me for that.
Can I follow?
You can ask.
Good on.
Cool. Where you'd like to go? I mean, hats and huts is a specific clientele,
I'm kind of looking for.
mostly for hats and huts.
There were 18 different colours of suit.
Right, there was.
Cerulean
And
being
sand.
one.
18 million types of something ridiculous like that as well.
No, wasn't it just 18 and then 17 was the worst?
Again, all these things I didn't record.
Sandus Brutus or something.
I don't really mind where I go because I'll just be picking up like.
Well, what kind of clothes are you looking for? Like, that's probably a more important question.
Well, I've still got my heavy armor. Like I'm kind of more just.
You mean
Sex.
heavy clothing?
Yeah, heavy clothing, heavy armor.
That's a lot different.
Sexy Twi'leks are us.
Oh my god, do they have a sexy Twi'leks or us? Do they have a scantilyclad.com?
There's no .com.
No, it's just written out. DOTCOM.
Yeah, that's my favourite shop.
Actually, .com's the owner.
It's a bot.
It's not, actually.
No?
No, okay. Dorothy.
Popular
Com.
misconception with
No,
.com?
just .com. That's their name.
Oh,
.com.
okay. Okay.
Shop
Why
name
not?
Kim.com.
No. I'm
Kim's
just going to take a note of this. So
Okay.
we've got a new shop.
Okay, so we're going down to .coms.
Okay. .coms.
Wondrous Emporium.
Yeah, really, we don't need to RP this. Like, I'm just wanting to get clothing.
Well,
Just
she's followed you for RP.
basic civilian clothing that I can fashion with my disguise kit to look sexy.
So you want to...
It's gonna be a very
Sexy.
sexy montage. Yeah.
Sure.
Clothes shopping montage.
How much you want to spend on clothing will depend on how sexy they look.
Okay.
Yeah, if you only spend 100, it's like
500?
you look like
Yeah,
a
sure.
back alley tramp.
Yeah.
.com. I spent 500.
Spend 500 credits.
500 of your currency at .com.
Yeah. 500 credits.
That gets you a sock.
Oh man,
But
best
it's
sock
a
ever.
Yeah, but
Pretty.
it's a body sock
It's a pretty sexy body, so.
that actually you need to put on from the leku down because it's got 2 holes at the top. You have to put your head through.
So what you're saying is it has a reservoir tip.
I did not
Times
use
2.
that term.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Wow.
Oh dear.
I'm
You
seeing
can
it.
have whatever you want to justifiably say you've spent 500 credits at .com's
Okay.
Wonder Emporium of Clothing. Or whatever the shop will be called. That is probably not Slutty's or us.
.com brackets owned by. Is this all in the title, by the way? .com and then brackets owned by.
Sure. Why not?
What's the guy's name?
.com. What?
.com was the name of the guy. that
Oh.
launched it.
What was the name of the shop?
.coms. Right. This was a very, very coming up ad lib. Stolen from you guys. Okay, what do you want to do on the Tatooine before? Do you maybe want to tell him the job? Like, what the
Nah, he
actual-
knows.
Oh, okay.
We're on a job.
Right, things they know.
We
Always
found
been
out.
That's why I'm eating sexy clothing from .com.
So
Because you're on the job.
I gave you the value the
This
job
feels
is
like a
worth.
promo for .com.
It's at least worth 100k. There's data that the guy that basically created the job wants from this ship. That data is non-negotiable. That is the only reason he's authorized this salvage mission.
Touch nothing but the data.
Yeah, basically it's a Cave of Wonders scenario, and
He touched the point.
that's pretty much why Cyanide on board, to retrieve that data.
Beep boop beep.
Beyond that, he doesn't really care. What else you salvage? That's up to you guys to make your money, but there'll be at least 100k's worth of salvage, like, to get. But again, it's up to you guys.
That's what he says.
Ren wants the
Together.
ship. So if we can try and get the ship, that would be nice.
Did you pick up your...
Well, Ren's not here
Things
anymore,
that
so screw his plans.
True, but it's nice.
Where are you going?
I'm going to go try to find some medical supplies for cheap.
How much do you have?
74 credits.
What would you like to try and get for 74 credits? You tell me what you want, I'll tell you what's possible.
I would like an emergency med pack.
Right, you want an emergency med pack. Do you even know how much those cost normally?
100.
So, it's
That's what I
not
wanted to do, looking in the book for a bit.
like, there's no shop that sells that here.
That's all I know.
Craig did try and piece together.
If you want.
Get back
From
into
where?
the groove.
The
Westworld forever.
No,
Can you
no
snap
market
it?
stall has them.
Okay.
So, no market stall would have them. But, as if Craig tried to build one out of other supplies, and he couldn't
Nice.
quite get all the supplies for that.
Supplies.
Just be openly racist, that's fine.
What? I'm saying supplies.
Yes.
Who said supplies?
That's an English word.
It was the lampshades you were wearing under your heads. So,
For the record, that didn't happen.
yeah. So,
Not even a lampshade.
It's because Emma's wearing it. I'm lying about it.
so it's unlikely you'll find a med pack here. Not to say that a ship wouldn't have one, but that would involve you breaking into another dock, breaking into another ship,
Yeah.
and overcoming the potential crew.
I probably wouldn't go that far just for a med pack.
Yeah.
I think
So,
there's no other choice.
I mean, they can be returning as you're
Try and
finished.
pick up some Bacta then.
That won't happen. Bacta's rare.
Bacta's-
Bacta's like an amazing miracle magical goo that heals people. That's not a thing that
Pour it on burns. It works great.
you can't just find that.
The Thalia approved.
Like, you could probably hawk Bacta here for quite a lot of money. Yeah. Just saying that's something that
What?
The goal. The goal.
just saying that's something you might want to keep in mind.
The dream.
The fact that when I say something's rare somewhere, you should really write that down so that you can then like sell stuff to make money in that place if you become traders. That was traders, not traders. So, what would you like to do, Gib?
I'd like to go looking for medical supplies.
Sure. What would you want? Like, you can always.
She would know that there's no Bacta in medical supplies, so kind of.
It depends.
I know
Like,
you're saying there's not, but
I know that. Like, I'm just saying as a player, you would know that from their failures.
yeah.
Because you could easily have said to them when they came back from the market, what did you guys see? Was there this, this, and this? Did you manage to get this, this, and this?
That looks normal.
You know, and then you maybe have had that conversation. So you could maybe ask them instead of their side conversation they're having.
How to spell Tatooine.
Tatooine.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Good.
I used to spell it with Tatt, but that was incorrect.
I like to spell it like Halloween.
So H-A...
Yeah.
Right, okay, so when you come back from Dotcoms, are you wearing your clothes?
Yes.
Cool. So you can see that she has wandered off and come back with very fancy new clothes.
Cyanide might be holding bags and various sorts. And
I did spend 500
I'm
pounds
squatting in
worth of
front.
clothes,
Have you replaced our medical supplies?
Of course.
which is a lie.
Which she doesn't know.
Where are they?
In my other dress.
Have you really? Because in all of these bags there are only clothes.
Shocking.
You did use everything to save him, right? Including my personal medkit.
Everything. Everything's used.
Then I'm going to have to go out and get another medkit.
What it means, Craig, is this is probably when you tell him that you've already tried to put a med kit together and that failed.
I got one though. Yeah, I did. I made an emergency medkit.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall this.
I did.
I'm not saying it didn't happen.
I did.
I'm just saying that I have.
In fact, I made it.
Believe it.
I have a recording. It's fine. I'll just check that. I find you've hacked my YouTube account and just replaced the audio. Like it's all normal until and I got a med pack.
That's like really
Super
harshly edited. Yeah.
It's not even you saying it.
But you recorded everyone else agreeing. I was like, oh yes, yes, you did.
There's clips from the rest of the episodes.
Yeah.
With
Great.
5 seconds of video of
Fantastic.
Craig's face.
Rummaging the
And-
market.
Fantastic.
Virtually cobbles together an emergency medkit for cheap for 400 credits.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
After a night of fun with a rather wealthy woman.
Cool. So you spent 900 of your 2,000 already.
No, 400.
900. You just spent 500 in clothes.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I should probably
We
note
are
that down as well.
rolling
Yeah.
in dollars.
That's fine. I got cash.
Got cash for days.
You wouldn't even buy Stephen a hat. Shame!
Anyway, one medkit's not going to get us very far.
It's also an emergency.
Enough.
It's something. I'll give you that.
Exactly.
It's definitely something. It's better than not
Well,
anything.
I did my best to cobble together supplies from this terrible marketplace. And I look great.
Have you
Thanks
checked
for
the
noticing.
ship?
Sorry.
Have you checked the ship? Do they have supplies?
I've not.
Is that something that I would know, having been on the ship previously?
Have you been in the ship previously?
Yes!
Then. yeah.
Congratulations!
I did say earlier you knew the ship.
How
was
many
outside the
medkits are there?
An abundance!
How many? Be specific.
Your vocabulation seems to be
Because
problematic.
because you're very anal retentive about numbers. You obviously counted it.
How many would there be?
No, how many did you count?
There's one emergency med pack,
Just
as standard on most ships.
There is one emergency medkit as
Yes,
standard.
thank you.
on
I
most
heard
ships.
metally. I heard.
Let her say it. She has fun doing the voice.
How am I meant to become a beautiful butterfly if you won't let me spread my
I'm the
wings?
beautiful butterfly. You're not taking the spotlight. It's mine.
Thalia says, spreading her dress wings. The most impractical dress wear ever.
Spraying glitter as I go.
Spreading the butterfly pashmina and taking to
Mina.
the sky.
Would you like to play this character? Because I'm pretty sure you're more well equipped to do this.
And pashmina is the only
That's something I need
clothes
to
word
Google.
I know.
I'm wearing one.
Big scarf.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a pashmina.
Oh,
Which means
They're like big rectangles you wear around your neck. Generally quite thin.
Scarf.
They're not scarves.
there you are,
The
viewers.
scarves, long and thin. Pashminas are big rectangular things that you wrap around in
These-
various ways.
Didn't you just say it was quite thin?
Yeah, the material itself. A scarf's
Oh.
thick. These are thin.
Of course.
Infer what I mean, Craig.
Jeez.
So, do you want to do anything else while you're on Tatooine, or are you happy to up sticks and...
No, I
Right,
literally
yeah,
did
yeah.
everything I could to get medkits.
Yep.
Well, if there's nothing
The
here,
fact
we'll
we've
just
got
have to
another
hope no one
11.
gets shot.
Huh?
We'll just have to hope no one gets shot then.
It'd be my fault. It's a scavenge mission.
Yeah. That doesn't mean we're the only people scavenging.
Dun dun dun!
Please tell me Thalia does that, because that's just...
she's feeling rather theatrical with her
I
pashmina, with her wings. Her beautiful butterfly dress that she
And then she
knows.
just had like the most dramatic walk back ever, and she's just on a high.
I am envisioning Katy Perry, that video, E.T., isn't it? Her music video where she's kind of like in space floating
You
around with a
think
dress.
I'm more equipped to do this?
Yeah, Craig, I mean, that's
Know your Katy Perry, bitch.
of the 4 people here, like, I mean, that is, you're still stealing the gay hatch.
I wear it proudly. King of the gays.
I don't know, watching Katy Perry Perry is something a lot of straight men do.
Also,
How many have you
hatch
slept with?
is not
None.
proud.
I'm king of the gays. None can obtain this.
The real power is the queen of the gays, though.
Don't diss thisness.
I cower when I see her.
Hashtag GayGM, hashtag no abuse.
Hashtag
For the
Hash brown.
inevitable flood of offence comments.
Hashtag
Triggered.
Tumblr friendly.
It's a very non-binary group, everyone.
I associate with nothing and everything.
Yep, I am nothingkin.
I am the concept of self-doubt.
I could believe that. I am the concept of trust.
Belief.
Right, anyway, we're horribly
track for fun.
RPing. Right, Cyanine, what do you want to do on the planet?
I don't want to do anything.
Good, do you want to get on the ship?
Boring.
Yes.
What about you guys?
Yeah,
Sand is
I've
not
floated
good for
back
my
into the
motherboards.
ship.
Excuse me. Cool. We'll screen wipe in that case. These will be, packing everything up as, we'll screen wipe, and
That's all.
these are in the kind of orbit around, like kind of breaking orbit of Tatooine, and then these have kind of been like strapped into your seats and such as per, what makes sense.
Can I have a window seat?
Well, if by that you mean the cockpit. Sure. Since that's the cockpit.
Is that the only window?
Didn't you see the ship?
Yes, I did, but I didn't
Is there not a
pay
gunner
attention
window?
to the windows. Would they not be just like
A
viewing
gunner
windows?
turret is not a window
She could be
seat.
the gunner. Sure, now this is pod racing.
Aha, you're definitely sitting in a gunner chair.
Shooting at the planet.
Just like a window seat.
Yeah, you can sit.
Thank you.
You can sit in the cockpit if you want.
Thank you. Okay, I will. Can I do anything useful? Yes.
You can observe. Roll observe.
Beep boop.
No, I just like to be looking out the
Just hit the
window.
buttons that light up.
Actually, boop beep this specific model.
Bob it. Yeah, I imagine like the cockpit is just a case of bopping. It's like things like that. You have to remember the pattern and then click them as we
Twist
go.
it.
Ren said this was hard. Beep boop beep boop beep. Boop, boop,
Bop
boop,
it. Bop it.
Twist it.
boop. Yeah, like
Flick.
you see what I mean by there is the cockpit window.
Go, yes.
Yeah.
Goodness.
That looks like a ship.
Yeah.
It appears to be some space vessel.
Okay, well I'm just looking out the window, kind of rattling off continuously the number of miles that I have calculated that we are from the ground.
Space.
There he is. Going up. Still
I
up.
did play the Portal
More
board game
up.
last night. Or the uncooperative cake acquisition game, as it is also called.
Okay, cake acquisition. I'm into this.
So let's keep this on track because this is madness.
Yeah,
So try and stay in character, folks. Try. Like it's gonna happen. So
Serendipity played the board game last night.
she didn't. She was busy trying to survive
You're a robot.
in a dog-eat-dog world.
With her cake.
Yep, it was a triumph.
I'm in space.
So
You are. Yes, indeed.
Playing a
Where-
Space Fairies video.
I imagine yous are both in what I'd call the passenger lounge.
Yes.
Yes.
I like that sound of that. Passenger.
You can be in the cockpit.
Yeah.
You're with the other 3 members of the crew, which is
Yeah.
Trula Brown, R, and Lily.
Yeah.
Lily is currently piloting, and the captain, if you will, being Trula Brown, is sitting in her kind of captain's chair, which is the co-pilot's chair, if you will, but she goes at the captain's chair.
Cool.
You can be sitting behind them, and Graham's in the other seat. Or Mr. Graham. Graham. You two can be in the passenger lounge mostly because the cockpit's now full, and you can obviously wander back and forth between whatever you want. But as you break orbit of Tatooine and get out of the gravity well, Lily punches it, as she does, and you're in hyperspace. Feel free to take time to wander around the ship, prepare stuff, get shit ready, talk to each other, get to know your, new crewmates. Like, what do you want to do? The inside of the ship looks like that, if that helps you guys.
Very nice. So there's a catwalk.
Quote, fashion, baby.
Well, considering, obviously, this is how the ship looks from the outside, cockpit and such.
Oh, so it goes that way.
Yeah, it was coming towards. Like cockpit. Ship goes that way.
That's
Flying sideways.
Yep. YT2400.
looks like a CD player.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a Walkman. Yeah.
Do you remember those? Were you alive back then?
I had a Walkman.
So diet skipped all the time. Piece of garbage.
So this is the passenger lounge. It's a cockpit, and you guys are all kind of bunking in there.
Excellent.
Excited bunking.
Yep. Fun. So yeah, what do you want to do?
I'd love to have some more conversation with Lily.
Sure.
Just random conversation with her. Doesn't have to be anything. Just about the weather, space.
Well,
and
you
how
can
everything's going.
obviously like several hours into hyperspace, like people leave the cockpit and stuff and go stretch their legs and shit. So like Lily's in the pilot chair, so feel free to be in the cockpit.
We'll do it.
What would you like to say to Lily?
No, just random conversation.
Just literally the words random conversation.
No, telling her about Granny Tats and our adventures so far and just all that kind of stuff. Really, just the exciting
How
life that I
much do you
live.
tell her about the adventure so far?
Leaving out how we got into a cave. So everything from then on.
So from the cave on, so your story starts at. So we're in a cave. Okay.
If Lily asks questions, that's fine. She can. It's just I can't answer them.
I can translate for you.
No, it's fine.
No, I can't.
really enjoy Lily because it means I can talk to somebody and hear myself back. Because I hear growling and rage and anger, and I feel that because I connect with that emotionally. That's how I feel inside. Turn
But
on.
would that stop you translating anyway?
No.
That's fine. I wouldn't be listening.
No. I like to think you're sat next to each other and I'm just kind of behind you, like poking through, just occasionally saying something, trying to get involved.
She's involved.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. So like as you start like rambling away, Lily's just like "Arr," occasionally like, tilting the head to you,
Arf.
Doesn't say arf.
Arf.
That's dog noises.
Barf.
That's racist.
She's not both. Work.
So feel free to translate that as you wish.
Okay. I
That's
shall.
entirely up to you. But literally, if there's nothing you actually want to ask about.
No, literally just small chat. And catching her up on the shenanigans. I need her to know how exciting I am.
Yeah.
Aww.
Just want her as a friend. And possibly sex buddy. I've never been with a Wookiee.
Remember when you said to me you hate the words you use sometimes, Craig?
No. I've never seen it.
I'll get you a print screen of that. So, what about you, Gib? What are you doing in your... what's Serendipity Jhones doing? Well, she's in hyperspace. Hyperspace won't be long, it's maybe like 18 hours long. Like, it's not that far away, this site. Should probably write that down since
I think she'd probably sleep for most of it.
It's probably not a bad plan.
Wander about in the kind of time she can't get to sleep.
Sure. Anything else that you want to do? Like, talk to anyone? Like, since you know so little about this job, it hurts me. But I love her. None of you seem to care.
That might be a good point. That is a good point.
It's not a terrible point, but only if you guys would.
We can go snooping.
Snooping.
Okay, let me not derail this by doing horribly terrible Smeagol impressions. Right, so feel free to explore and discuss as you wish. Please don't tell me that Stephen led all the RP in this game.
No, of course not. I would probably. How much can I know already of where we're actually going?
Well, you probably know the name of the ship. And you probably know why you're going, or why you were. Because
Data.
you'll obviously have like the files to look for.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much you'd want to say that, since that was kind of the primary reason for the job. And yeah, that's probably between you and the employer,
Okay.
that specific part. But, I mean, ask me questions and I'll answer, or that's the easiest way to do this, I think.
Okay.
So, I think the best thing to do is, would you guys ask anything specific, or like, because obviously you're preempting what they would ask you, because I don't think you would necessarily just offer up. That's up to you. But I think it's easier if they just ask and then I answer, and you can describe it to them how you would.
What's the name of the ship that we're going to?
Torrens Locket.
Do I know anything of the history of the ship, the purpose of the ship?
You weren't-
Whilst it was in use.
You weren't told anything other than that it was transporting medical supplies. Yeah, funny that. This is why the fact that you've spent almost 2 hours looking for medical supplies between the last 2 sessions, this has been hilarious.
And the data that I'm going to recover. Do I know anything about the actual what the data is or why it's
As I
needed?
say, you've got all the file names, but they're all like encoded file names.
Okay.
So you basically have to download the black box of data, and then deliver that. You weren't told what the data was.
Okay.
If that makes sense. You just were told where to find it.
Do I know anything about the boss, the person that's told us to get this?
Yeah, you can know about him. Yeah.
What's his name, profession?
Niska, the Hut.
Excellent, wonderful. Niska the Hut. And what's his reputation like?
Do you still want to roll to see if you know anything about Niska the Hut?
Oh, I know so much about Niska.
We'll find out, yeah.
Do we have dice?
I've got my app here for
Okay.
dice.
No, I just hit the button then.
What's everyone's underworld knowledge? Emma, not you.
No, not me.
It's 3. 3 intellect.
I assumed that's what you meant.
My intellect is 2.
So no underworld knowledge for any of you? No.
No, but I mean, I do have
Good sort of take
Core
that as well.
Worlds knowledge, which is going to be really helpful for hut information.
Oh, was Niska
And
the
I have
Hut?
mechanics.
That skill you occasionally have and don't have.
Oh, was Niska the Hut the of the famous dynasty that founded Hats and Huts
Oh,
and therefore
yeah.
got all of their money through?
No, because remember the owner of
The
Hats and Huts was a
legitimate-
Rhodian.
God.
Oh, yeah.
No, I thought he was just the manager of that particular.
You could have thought that, but that's because you
Franchise.
didn't ask him.
True, yeah.
You didn't care. You're like, "Pff, it's a Rhodian. Don't care about Rhodians.
Well,
Wow.
I know, racist
Racist
silent.
droid.
Right, so
your
Craig,
organics all look the
you're on
same to me.
3 green, is that right?
Yeah.
Right.
Although, could I go with streetwise?
Sure.
Word on the street.
Sure. What am I rolling for that?
I would also like to go.
2 green, 1 yellow.
2 green, 1 yellow. Alright.
You know nothing.
Roll. Let's see what you get.
Nothing is no.
2 failures, 1 advantage.
Brilliant.
That's what you get for that. So,
Jesus.
on that note, one thing we didn't do, right, so that was 2 failures, 1 advantage. We did not do the destiny pool. That's probably something we should do now. I'm just going to roll 3 of these just now.
My advantage is being spent on
Right, so it's,
correlating with you and your information. I'm like, hey, well, this is what I don't know apparently. But you
Destiny
can rule
pool
out
is
what.
exactly balanced, by the way.
What?
2 light, 2 dark. So you know, we meant to do that at the start.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
Can I spend my advantage in just boosting his?
Yeah, sure. Yours
We
is the exact same.
chat about it.
Is that the exact same roll? So is it
My cunning is 2. So yes.
is streetwise off cunning? Yeah. Was yours meant to be off cunning? Is your cunning?
I was rolling off cunning as well.
Cool. Just as a man. And there's also going to be a boost in there. Ugh. Let's roll.
Copyright.
1 failure and 4 advantages.
Wow, how are you spending those advantages?
I think the way this kind of handled, you have heard the name Niska the Hut, I think, and it's been one of those kind of, you know, like when someone starts mentioning a politician, and you know it's a politician because you know the name is in newspapers, but you could not like put a face to them.
Yeah.
You don't even know what party they're with.
Like Tony Blair, right?
I think it's just what most people wish they knew about Tony Blair was as little as possible. But
This is genuinely like me with most politicians.
no, but like genuinely, like when you hear a politician, you're like, eh? Like I think this is what you guys know about Niska. You just know it's a name that you've heard a lot of people talk about, but you're like, were they a senator? Were they like, are they in charge of the huts? Like, are they king of the sand people? Like, you don't know. Maybe you just didn't care. However, 4 advantages, Gib. What did you even do with that?
You find medical supplies!
I think
Could you like use it to know or have like an inclination as to the circles that they move in?
yeah, I was
Sometimes-
literally about to say that. Like, it's the only thing I can actually think about to spend advantages on, like a failed knowledge check.
Like sometimes you know a name and you're like, oh, I know that name, but it makes me
Yeah.
feel bad things.
You know,
tingles.
obviously Niska is related to the huts. You know that. You think maybe Niska tried to take control of the hut, like Grand Council, but maybe he didn't. Like, you're not really sure. You just think there was something to do with the Grand Council, and there was conflict of some kind, and who knows what that was. But you just know there was a bit of a. He's not in the council anymore. Is maybe what you know. But beyond that, again, it's the everybody knows. You know, certain politicians are shadier than others. Whereas for you, this knowledge would be, you know, Niska definitely has history with the council. What that exactly was, no idea. But it's things you've maybe picked up from bounty hunters dealing with God knows what where. It's maybe why Serendipity knows a bit more about this. What was it? You look like going to say something.
No, I think he's in the Shadow Council.
Oh, okay. I'll get
Do
on
I know anything more specific, or was I purposefully misled, or do I not care?
that. What is your streetwise and or knowledge skills?
I am a good knowledge.
Brilliant.
Knowledger of knowledge. Keep your droid speak to yourself.
This is the first time I've actually rolled anything, so
Roll
help
it.
would be good.
Roll it. What are you looking for? What do you want to roll?
What do you want me to roll?
I'm asking what your knowledge skills are.
Knowledge skills are education and law.
Cool. So nothing to do with the underworld.
No.
Lore?
No.
Family lore?
No. Go read the skill lore.
Lorax?
You get that too.
I would do Underworld
Yeah,
or
Streetwise?
No.
No.
Cool.
Our cunning is also half of what our intellect is.
Yeah.
Still
So
for intelligence.
probably intellect you want to roll.
Mhm.
Probably. We've not explained this, but like you know, you can spend like the destiny pool and stuff like that. Like just so you know, on
That's right.
upgrading and stuff. It's just a thing that people can do. It's just so you're aware of it. What that means is you can spend it to upgrade. Like so, one of your green dice, it would be like you have a rank in something.
Okay.
If that makes sense. And the same thing is you can downgrade my skill checks, and vice versa. Like it just works, but you can only do one per action if that makes sense.
Okay. Do I have a black dice on this roll?
No.
Okay, fine. That does not help me any.
I'm rolling for green for you. Is that right?
Yes.
Cool. Let's see what you get. 4 successes and an advantage.
Excellent.
Intellect bot.
Yep. Things you know, right? And I'll let you decide what you choose to share with the group.
Okay.
Okay. So this is all for Emma's benefit. So Niska the Hut created the job. Niska has essentially a fleet of ships that he controls. It's like kind of like his own private army / pirate fleet of his own. he doesn't have, like a lot of huts have like a home base or like a planet they call their own where they kind of rule over it in hut space. Niska doesn't. Niska had things, and then Niska tried to get all the things from the council, and then the council stopped Niska because one of Niska's own turned on him
Okay.
and ratted him out to the huts, and they were prepared for Niska's move, basically to try and take control of the Grand Council of them. Beyond that, there's an old freighter called Torrens Locket. By old, I mean it would have been cheap to buy for someone to use it more recently, but this thing's been adrift for a couple of years, but it just kind of went missing, and somebody assumed, well, it'll show up when people try and hawk the supplies, but it never did. And seems like Niska has quite an interest in this, hence why I want the data from the science lab computer. So beyond that, let's see if you would know anything else. It was exiled from the Hut Grand Council, that's there.
With what penalty is it like on pain of death or?
Yeah, exiled because if we see you, we will kill you.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, like the Huts don't really want to fuck around. But the problem is that again, Niska had like his own fleet of ships. So again, you couldn't just send like a bunch of like bounty hunters against him because he owns bounty hunters
Okay.
and pirates, and it's just he had enough people to try and coup the Huts.
Right. Okay.
So the fact that he wanted to do that means he had enough infrastructure to at least fall back on an escape route, if you will.
Okay.
But now he kind of just operates on his flying palace, if you will, like his kind of spaceship converted palace thing that he lives in now. So he's not a stationary target because obviously a Hut could just fly a capital ship in and bombard him if he wanted like a palace like Jabba has. So that doesn't happen because Niska always moves. So that's a thing. I'm trying to think if you know anything else.
He's a mobile hut.
He's a mobile hut. No, I think that's probably everything you've got. Yeah.
Okay.
But
So I don't know anything about the data. I've just got the encoded file.
Yeah, you were just told what to look for. So you've basically got a program you're going to insert.
Okay.
It will then withdraw the data, and then you will carry the data, and then they will withdraw the data from you.
Okay.
That is essentially what you were told, and you're okay with this.
Mhm.
I just think I recall that happening totally.
Yeah, probably. I get to learn things.
Well. But that's why you're on this particular mission. Also, because it's like a kind of medical supply ship, as I said, there was a science lab. The data is stored in the science lab computer core. That's what you're after. And considering this was a salvage job where everything's fair game, I imagine you'd be happy to get run of the mill at a science lab.
Yeah.
It's probably why you're fully on board for this.
Reminds me of the good old days.
But yeah, beyond that, that's it. And Niska doesn't care what MD else takes from the ship. Doesn't give a shit.
As long as we return with the data.
Yep. So, that's what you got from that. It was a pretty good roll, to be honest.
Excellent.
I'm glad it went that way because I kind of hoped you'd know why you'd taken the job on board, since you're probably the only person, that actually got a reasonable shout at actually knowing stuff.
Mhm.
So, you can answer their question now, I guess.
Oh, did you ask me directly?
Like, who the job was for.
Did you, Jhones? Were you interested?
Yeah, who are we working for? Who's this Nishka? Who's his reputation?
He is an ex-politician.
No, he's not.
Kind of.
Oh, yes.
He's still a player.
Like, the Hut Council are politicians within their own rights. They're essentially mob bosses together. There's no official politics, but everybody recognises it somehow. Because they're a threat in space.
Yes.
They control Hut space, which is where you guys escaped from because you were all in Narshada. It's probably where you've picked up the whisperings of all the Niska banter, if you will. Mad bants about Niska.
Mud the ones.
So yeah, I probably say something along the lines of he is an ex-politician and there is no need to worry. He lives on his floating space palace, but there is no need for concern, and we are just going to go to this ship to retrieve some files which are probably not at all dangerous.
His ship's called the Adelaide,
That's cute.
isn't it just?
Attle.
The Adelaide. That's
And
what-
we're on the Twyla La Bamba. This feels like very second-class accommodation now.
Do you say that out loud? Because
No. Definitely not.
Flush the dried.
It is. Like a dead...
cramming down the space slough.
I am not a dead goldfish, thank you.
One panel.
You are the right colour though.
Yeah, that's
Ripped
true.
bits off.
Watches
Panel
your
by
flesh.
panel.
Oh, money!
The slowest death imaginable.
Carry on.
By 1,000 unscrewings.
Yeah, so
How do you guys feel about working for Let's Go Back?
Yeah, it's alright.
how do you feel about the way I
Seems
just
a
delivered
decent
that?
boss if it can take stuff.
No problem. I've worked for worse.
Must have had such a hard
Obviously,
job.
like the crew of the Tula Labamba, like do obviously for the like, next 18 hours and stuff, they will move around the ship and stuff. So feel free to interact with them and not with them if you wish. But like they're all kind of, the captain isn't what I'd call pleasant. She doesn't look like she's looking to make friends. That's the red Twi'lek lady. But not to say that if you approached her, she wouldn't talk to you. But she doesn't look to like now when someone looks at you, you know that they want you to ask them a question or like they're okay with socializing. There is no social cues from her at all. Mr. Graham is happy to chat to anyone. He's like a slightly less in your face EJ, if you will, that way, where he's kind of like, no, he's not like arrogant or cocky or anything. He's just, you probably like the fact that he probably likes people, and he's happy to actually have like some company, since the captain's probably not up to much and he can't understand what the wiki says. So,
Can no one understand Lily?
don't know, you can ask him.
Well, I think I can.
Yeah, you think you can. Whether or not you actually,
Actually think I can.
yeah, like I think maybe you just think you should be able to, so you air quote can.
So I do.
But you know, Graham or Mr. Graham cannot speak Wiki. I'll give you that. She
Okay.
just cannot speak Wiki. Okay, like many comments, like yeah, sure, whatever. You know, those kind of like very patronising reply comments. And she just get kind of Lily like throwing her arms up in the air and like, and just stomping off. But Lily doesn't really like wander too far from the cockpit, because obviously anything can throw you up hyperspace at a moment's notice. So Lily kind of stays nearby. Occasionally, maybe goes to like the kitchen area and just like pulls like crackers out of them and just kind of stuffs and gets crumbs all down her, and then just like heads back to the cockpit.
It's
every now
awful. Beautiful. Lily's such a gorgeous beast.
and she is such a divine piece of glass, covered in cracker crumbs all down her.
Oh, you are a mess.
Arr.
Yes, I
You
shall
know
clean
it,
that up for
bitch.
you.
Yeah, so
There we are, best pals. The crew of the Jammy Dodger survived.
So are you playing it off that you've only kind of recently came on board then? I think
Yeah, I've probably been on a couple of small jobs with them, but I've not been around for an awfully long time. Not
They
so much.
also do
that-
like cargo-y stuff. Like
Yeah.
like their ship's pretty cool for cargo, like jumping around, and you can, from knowing them from a few jobs, you know that they don't really get into trouble as such. Like even when like problems appear, they're very upfront about stuff, and like when they get scanned or raided, or like if the Imperials decide to check them for whatever reason, like there's nothing illegal.
So we're not Serenity.
I never said that. I just said nothing goes wrong.
We're a successful Serenity.
Um,
Excellent.
But that's only been the last couple of jobs you've been on. You obviously don't know much beyond that. And as I said, through that entire time, the captain's not really giving you much. Like, you know her name. But again, she keeps to herself. It's not really a thing she cares about. Like, is making friends, as I said. I think maybe because you're temporary in her eyes.
It's a droid eat droid world out there.
She's not a droid.
Droids eat droids. Whoever this NPC is.
Says the computer. Marvin, we shall call him.
No, we shall not. Carry on.
I'd like to be a friend. of Marv.
So probably having told you what we're doing, or
Well-
that little bit about it.
Why bother?
Now I've got a headache.
God, it's making me sad.
Oh no.
So,
The last 2 times I've been in Rufus, that's the film that's been on.
My grandpa's hammer. You champion. But anyway, I probably turn around to you after having told you where we're going and said, "So, how did you come to be on Tatooine?"
where are you in it? Is this in like maybe the lounge then? Or is this like in the bedroom or in the cockpit?
Wait,
or
no, you would.
Like where
Oh,
are you?
okay.
Like where are you in the ship?
In the lounge.
I-
Is there a little kitchen in the lounge?
Oh yeah, like it's it lets you make food and stuff. Yeah.
Can I be making a cup of tea? I can't drink it, but I'll just make it.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm gonna
Keep in mind that you'd have been told off if this is something you did, you wouldn't be allowed to waste supplies. So yeah. So if you're making Thalia a cup of tea, totally. But I imagine if this is a quirk you have, you'd have been told off by the captain, and you probably listened.
Probably. Yeah.
My ship crashed.
Ah.
You just have it as a habit, but you do it, but you just give it to somebody as you walk away.
Yeah. I just make tea and then ask, "Would you like some tea?"
No, you
after?"
just don't. You don't ask. You just give it to them as you walk away. Just put it next to them and walk away.
Excellent.
So
There
you
we are.
want-
That's me.
Like a pre-programmed butler.
Don't tell her it's my idea.
You coming back as a droid butler, Craig?
No, she is. Let's destroy her.
I like the idea of a bottle droid rather than a battle droid.
So,
Yes.
We were on a supply run for some friends of mine, and the Empire shot us out of the sky. Unprovoked.
That must have been a very troubling experience.
You could say that. We almost died.
Phasing off. The eyesight into
It's
the
a
distance.
miracle we all survived. We crashed in the desert. Had to wander for days to find anything. And
Oh dear.
pretty much know the rest. We came to where we met you.
I've already, yeah.
Can't remember what's
You probably would pipe in when he says you know the rest, because I did actually explain to all this to Lily, which you were translating, so you do know
I
this.
do.
Yeah.
In fact.
So unless you want to hear it again for a second time, to
maybe she deleted that file.
never. She would
boring.
never. She stored that under virtue. BFFs forever. I was gonna say BFFs. I'm okay with that.
I just threw up a little.
BFFs.
Episode 6.
BFF.
BFFs.
Episode 6. Naming episode 6. So, any other conversations you want to have? Like, remember hyperspace is the time to get shit done.
I don't really have anything to say.
No, I think I'm pretty happy with their version of events.
Yep.
In that case then, feel free to be in seating and such and we'll come out of hyperspace then. Bong. Seismic charges! Yeah, so you drop out of hyperspace, you obviously feel the shunt of the ship coming out of it. And obviously, are you in the cockpit still? You probably are
Yeah,
in the cockpit and you're probably back in the passenger and strapped in for that. Or you can be standing in the back of the cockpit. Where would you rather be?
I'd like to sit in the cockpit.
You're
Or
not
stand in the
sitting,
cockpit.
you'd be standing. All the seats are taken.
Leaning on the door. Dramatic
So-
pose. It's like, I can take another planet! And realising I'm going to wreckage instead, I'm like, okay, we're good.
Yeah, you see like
What is this luxury landing?
it's like a kind of big asteroid field
Okay.
that you kind of approach. There's no like, there's not really anything inside. There's maybe like a star off in the distance that's kind of illuminating the, the asteroid fields. And there's quite like we're talking like there's big skyscrapers, chunk size asteroids in this field. It's quite dangerous. So you've got obviously Trilla Brown being like, just ease her in, and Lily's like, "Arr, arr," barking back. It's like, no, ease her in, ease her. And like, "Arr," and then like there's like asteroids flying across like the window, like of the cockpit and stuff, casting shadows in and stuff, and everyone kind of giving that kind of worried look as if that was closer than we would all have liked. And you can see off in the distance, kind of like, not attached to, but just kind of adjacent to like one of the bigger asteroids, there's a fairly large looking crater, like a kind of big blocky looking thing, nothing particularly pretty to look like right home to. And then you've got Mr. Graham in the background like, there she is, the Torrens Locket. And then they just kind of are slowly sailing closer as we go in. So the ship moves around again. Just panicky captain, constantly like on the controls with the Wookiee. Just like just ease her in, just tap it. Mm-hmm. And then I was like half hand, like arms start on the back of the shoulder, like on the shoulders even, and then like one hand's on the actual control stick now with her, and it's just she's quite obviously maybe she's a bit protective of her own ship. Mm-hmm. And then it kind of syncs up. So this is the docking hatch on this side. Mm-hmm. So that's it there. That's like the airlock, and so like the ramp and stuff's here, and like that's a ramp there. So that's the way you all boarded on. So that would go down and use a walk on. But this side it's just like the kind of airlock dock stuff, and that's where it's kind of like clamped on, and the whole ship shakes a bit when you kind of like limp it onto the side of this thing. So everyone's suiting up then. We're going to try and go ahead, but they kind of want to send the droid first to see about
Typical.
air and getting power on, because when they docked with it there was no like mag seal or anything. It was just they had to do everything from their end, so it pretty much had to like manually just clamp on, and then hope they lined it up, because normally it would magnetize to each other. That didn't happen, so it means there's no power, at least to that system. So yous are given suits to actually climb into, proper like breathing hazmat type style kind of suits, because space and shit. Lily stays on the bridge. The captain and Mr. Graham suit up with you guys, and obviously you don't suit up because you're a droid.
Yeah.
Twyla and Mr. Graham are both carrying like cases and toolkits and stuff on them, because obviously they wanted to strip the ship for everything they can basically kind of pile into their cargo hold. Beyond that, anything you are particularly taking with you or leaving behind, or like what you do?
Everything I
I don't
have
know
on
what
me
you're
is on
carrying,
me.
because obviously it's going to be cumbersome in these suits.
Yeah, I'm
So
not
we
going to
don't-
take my gun.
Not going to take it. Cool. Are you taking everything else though? Like you have, whatever that is.
Yeah, I'll take my injector gun
Okay.
and my anesthetic. That's what I do.
Cool.
Right,
Craig.
Knock the fuck out.
I mean, I'll probably take everything I've got except the disguise kit.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah. I'll probably leave the datapad and disguise kit.
Because like you can easily get like belts and like backpacks and stuff on. It's just even clunkier
Yeah,
than
yeah.
it would be. It's not exactly ideal. And
Everything's on me already.
yeah, everything's good.
Secure?
Yes,
Yeah.
everything is secure.
Good.
Cool. Do you want to head in first then?
Yeah, alright.
Cool. So, airlock, everybody's waiting in this kind of corridor. Airlock opens, airlock closes, you're inside, and then airlock opens, and that door's there, and I think probably Graham and the captain. In fact, maybe everyone's in the airlock hatch. That probably makes more sense that everyone's in the airlock at this point. So Graham and the captain basically like kind of jam like the kind of mag kind of device onto the side of the kind of the airlock doors and start like pressing buttons on it. It seals onto it, and then they like kind of force the doors open. There's quite a shudder as obviously the pressure tries to equalise and stuff. So obviously this room shakes quite a bit, and then you're just kind of looking into a darkness essentially inside this ship. And then they ask you to pretty much look for like the bridge and the power room, and pretty much go and try and get power online is what your job is.
Okay, I go pottering in.
Cool. Would you like to give me a coordination roll just to see where you're going?
Alright. One
What?
green.
One green.
Right? Yeah.
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 Cool. Well, one failure and one advantage.
Excellent.
So, I think maybe you're away for like 15, 20 minutes, and then you get calm, being like, cyanide. How about that power? You have not found the power.
No.
You are in fact in the dark, and you can't see in the dark, and you're pottering around, and you're literally like, maybe you fell over a couple of times, and you've got back up, and like, that was rude. Like, you know, how dare you so? And then, but yeah, so you've carried on anyway, and like, you've your advantage can be spent on something. What would you like your advantage to be spent on? I mean, you could easily give someone a boost on the coordination roll to say don't come this way, like, but it's your advantage to spend. What would you like to do with it?
Yes, I'll probably give a boost to someone
Could
who
have
might be able to.
found something.
Oh, can I have
like
found something?
Would you
map
want to
of the ship. It's a bit of a
Is
new
there
gamey.
going to be a map that?
Yeah,
Can I? Can I find?
Yeah, you could.
You're
follow
in
over
the
and actually
dark.
Find power cables.
Remember, you're in the dark,
Yeah.
so finding a map, I don't see how that would have happened.
Yeah. No.
But as I said, you can find something, or you can direct someone to go a different way than the way you went.
Oh no, you
Like-
fell over. Hey, cables. Where did these lead?
Like,
There's find a flare.
and it really is kind of up to you how you want to spend like your, you know.
Yeah. Can I find a flare?
Sure.
Can I light it?
You can try, yeah. Doesn't quite go.
Ah.
It's almost like there's no air.
Ah. Yes. I have scanner goggles. Does that help anything at all?
What did you do?
I did a scanner.
No,
Scan. They scan.
They're just binoculars, I take it.
they help you see in the dark.
Do they? Or is that
Really?
electro binoculars?
No, electro binoculars give you advantage
Electro binoculars are the.
when it's dark.
Aren't those macro
I
binoculars?
have them. I have electro binoculars. I can see in the dark, right?
Macro binoculars do absolutely fuck all.
Yeah, there's no point in having
Scanner
them.
goggles let you see in the dark.
Yeah, there we are.
Let me just bring it up.
I'll just try to find it, yeah.
Yep.
And the gear and equipment page before that.
Okay, so it's scanner goggles you've currently got, yeah?
Mhm. And electro binoculars.
Okay, let me have a quick scan.
Right, found them. Scanner goggles allow the user to see normally in dark conditions.
Excellent. There we are. Can I
You
be?
should probably use them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I
like-
be just the kind of typical scientist who has forgotten where they've put their glasses and doesn't know anything? So I've bumped into things. I've gone the wrong way, but in doing so, my scanner goggles have fallen down onto my face, and I can actually see now.
Sure, yeah,
Can that be my advantage?
Mhm.
Excellent.
totally.
And can I have said before that, testily to the captain over the comms, like, Captain, you may have overestimated the fact that although droids are vastly superior to organics in many ways, we can't in fact see in the dark. And then I bump into something, my goggles fall down, and I can see in the dark. And I'm like, an amendment, Captain. Apologies.
There is no response from the captain at all. Graham, Mr. Graham, you can kind of hear him chuckling a little bit. You have to say, I'm going to laugh, because if I don't laugh, she'll cry. And we just need to get this done. We've been stuck with this droid that talks about numbers and sand and yeah,
Fascinating sound.
so
Such
much
a
sand.
Did you know there were 18 different types of sand?
17's the worst.
17 is the worst.
I'm not sure if that's up to 17 or just 17.
Just 17 in itself.
Do you want to maybe
The hell sound.
want me to try and give you a better coordination roll now?
Yeah, that'd be nice. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Let's try again, shall we? Look at that, a success.
A success!
Yep.
Huzzah!
Right, so it literally was one success.
Okay.
You stumble around now you can see better, but it's still not easy to get around because obviously this thing's been adrift for a while. Again, crazy. As you clunk, clunk, clunk your way through the ship. Again, no sign of people. Obviously, like it.
No skeletons
No.
or
Nope.
traces of life.
Well, it depends. Like
Anywhere.
you're now able to see things, but you headed for the power kind of room, if you
Uh-huh.
will, or like or the bridge, whatever you hit first. But I think the way you've probably not went towards the bridge. You probably thought you were going towards the bridge, but you've not. You're near the kind of like, I guess it would be like the junction box of a spaceship, I guess.
Mhm.
Something this big needs like a lot of kind of breakers. So you found your way to that. Again, everything's pitch black. Half the stuff looks like it's been ripped out and kind of like patched back in. Some of it looks like it's blown.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what you see in there.
Okay. Can I use computers or mechanics to try and fix it and
Sure.
establish a...
I'm going to do mechanics since there's no computers.
Okay. 3 green and 1 yellow, please.
Cool. Let me just roll this for you. Do you have a toolkit on you?
No.
Cool. Let me just.
I have a utility belt. Would it be reasonable to assume that I had been given tools? Or...
You don't have a utility belt? Well, you have a belt that is used to keep encumbrance values higher. It doesn't do anything about holding stuff up. Because
Darn.
if you don't have a toolkit, you don't have a toolkit.
No, I don't. I don't.
Okay, so 5 successes and 3 threat is what you get while pottering around by essentially jamming your metal hands into this junction box for the size of this freighter. So you, yeah, I mean, you pull things out and some sparks and stuff fly and you hear like a hum and a drum and then nothing really happens and you go, maybe if I stick these other ones in these other places that seem to have blown, so you've pulled out the ones that look kind of non-essential, if you will, and you've moved them around and you've blown kind of like a big bit of the circuit breaker and you've flown right back into like the kind of bulkhead wall. And then yeah, so you've just been smacked back and you're fallen over. Take a wound from that, but after that you hear flickering, several green lights come on, and then like the room itself slowly starts to illuminate, like from like the floor panels and stuff. Like you've got like the kind of like runner lights and stuff that come on, and then red lighting overhead comes on, and then you guys can see from the airlock where you are still waiting on Cyanine's report. You can just like see like all the running lights across like kind of on the floors. So the only thing you can see in the darkness now, besides the light coming from the Chihuahua Bamba, is the running lights on the floor, and then slowly as it flickers in, this dark red lighting, it comes on, and it can like every now and then kind of flickers a bit, but so you've currently got that. So yeah.
Is there any way that I can assess the situation in terms of, you know, oxygen availability, the kind of atmospheric conditions?
Not from being smacked into the wall. I'm pretty sure it's up to them right now. So as soon as that comes on.
Dear.
As soon as that comes on, do you report back anything? It's like, because you hear like Mr. Grimm like, I assume that's as good.
All systems go, Graham.
I like that. Well, Mr. Grimm.
Mr. Graham.
Like, I love the fact that I put my finger to my ears if comms matters when there's no visual cue here. we noticed that. As soon as he gets that, he was like nods to the Twila Brown, and then they pick up their crates and they head in. What about you guys?
Follow suit.
Cool. They said to you, well, we're going to go scavenge the cargo hold, see what's left. So, you guys are welcome to come or keep what you find. If you find the science labs, point cyanide in that way if you find them, but beyond that, scavenge what you need. So,
right. I'm going to head off.
It's almost like a kind of T-junction. If like, can you imagine you walk in and there's basically 2 ways to go. Cyanide went off to the left, which kind of looks like it's off to like the front end of the ship. But again, this thing's huge, so who knows where things are inside.
Yeah, I'm going to let them go.
And they headed to the other.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, we'll go left. Well, I'll go left. I'm looking for...
Do you have scanner goggles?
I have electro binoculars, which are better.
Are they?
Yep.
Good.
They do stuff that they shows as well, like you see in the dark.
Good.
Yeah, I'm going to go look for the captain's quarters.
Sure. Yeah.
And if I find the med bay on the way, I'm going to go rifle through that as well. but I'm heading to the captain's quarters. But if I walk past the med bay, I'm going to stop.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Do you want to roll me a coordination check?
Sure.
What is your coordination?
My coordination, based off agility, probably. It'll be 3, I think. I don't have any. Yeah, 3. 3 green.
Cool. I'd also accept perception check here.
Perception would be 1 green, 1 yellow. I don't know which is better. I think I'd probably go with 3 green.
Really?
Yeah, better odds of. Like I know that yellow's good, but only 1. I
It's a
think.
D12 versus a D8.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll go for perception. Yeah.
so 1 green, 1 yellow.
Yeah, 1 green, 1 yellow.
Cool. Let me just adjust this. Let me roll this. I just deleted all those dice. Did not roll them.
That's a D12 versus 2D8 to be honest.
Let's see how I do. 1 success and 1 threat.
Cool.
So you start ambling through the ship, and I think maybe you just start following like some of the kind of the signing like on the walls. It's you don't understand the language it's in, but you can kind of tell from almost maybe the colour scheme or the fact that one's at the top or whatever, like however you decide whatever was important to you, you just kind of went, this looks like this would be the captain's line, I'll follow that line through. So you start making your way towards that. As you're going though, like obviously certain sections haven't come back with power, so it's a lot creepier. Sometimes the grav plating's fucked up, so you might be walking fine and all of a sudden it might be heavier, or like it might be like properly struggling to move, and other times it might be like off, so you're just floating. So you kind of take you take some strain just kind of like getting through that. So if you want to mark that down, you've got 1 strain for that. But it's not exactly the easiest of journeys, put it that way. But it's going to take you a wee bit of time to get there. Thalia.
I would follow suit with Jhones, because dark red lighting, flickering, slightly scary. Can I go with the half cyborg here? Feel a bit safer around.
Quarter
me.
cyborg.
Not really, are you? It's just
So the
boring,
knees
are you?
down. It's about a quarter of a person.
Pretty much disabled, really. So,
I will
It's not even
disable
1
you.
foot in the grave, it's technically 2 feet in the grave.
Yeah, 2 feet in the incinerator.
yeah, so
You know what you did with the
for
seat.
protection reasons,
So I think about it.
I'd probably
Just
stay with Jhones.
transplanted onto himself. That's gross. Right, okay, so Jones, I think you're happy with Virtue sticking to you. Like, do you do that nervous talking thing though when you're walking? Like, how does Thalia deal with this? Because if she's a bit scared, like,
No, she wouldn't do the nervous talking. That shows.
is this maybe the first time she's not talking?
Yeah.
Like,
She doesn't like her presence. She's well versed with keeping her shit together. But when it comes to scary situations, she'll just stay in the safest place, and the safest place is next to the bodyguard.
the bodyguard. And right. Okie dokie. Anything you're particularly looking for, or like you tell me what you're wanting.
Nothing.
You want nothing.
I
from
want
this?
nothing. No, just anything I guess that looks valuable is what I would kind of pick up and
What would you look for? What would you
deem
value?
valuable.
Yeah, like
Things that look valuable.
critical
no,
credits.
I would.
It's a tough one.
But I would. I guess with medical knowledge, I would see bits and pieces of equipment that I would have valued in my head.
Okay, in that case, then I think the best thing to do is have you guys come up to like a kind of crossroads, where the captain's quarters goes off in one direction to like maybe up to the left, and then like to go straight ahead. Again, it's a green line with crosses on it. You could assume it's the med bay, or the sick bay, or the infirmary, or
Or
whatever.
the
you want
plague room.
it. Or the plague room, like legitimately plague room.
Legit plague room.
He writes down playground.
They entered the plague room.
So, but you're now at that point where maybe you knew you were looking out for both captain's quarters and medroom, purely because you knew Thalia would be looking for the medbay.
Yeah.
So you obviously kind of went off to find both those lines went to this point where they've now diverged. So what do you want to do?
There's no one on the ship.
Sure.
You hear a rattling.
You go to the medbay.
No, it's just kind of like the ship creaking.
Yeah, that's the sound.
Yeah. That kind of like weird like metal tang. Tanker.
The ship screams.
And you're like, Lily, please keep the comms clear. She's actually eating crackers.
Crumbs falling. Oh dear.
Favourite NPC so far, by the way.
Send you off to replenish our medical supplies. I'm going to the captain's quarters.
Wait, Rent I'm going to the captain's quarters and enjoy it.
Bitch. Okay. You want to scout out this room before you go though?
No. I'll meet you
What room?
at the
The playground.
The line leads off into the corridor.
Yeah, the playground.
I'll meet you back here in about 10 minutes.
Do we have watches? No, we do. Okay, good. Never mind.
Your suit can have a watch on it. Oh my god. It probably has the how much air you have left button.
In minutes, so meet back here in
It's actually
1 hour
it's in
remaining.
space seconds.
Okay.
Par seconds.
Seconds.
Space parseconds.
Yeah, you can walk this far before you die. It's very advanced scanning technology. There's the exact number of steps you can breathe for. Factoring in panic.
I guess. Yeah, okay. That's fine.
Are you gonna
Fine.
go? I mean, you don't need to
No,
go.
fine by me.
Are you gonna go off on your own?
She obviously thinks I'm scared.
Oh, show that bitch.
Stupid bitch.
Alright.
We'll see who's scared when I scare her with medical equipment.
Okay, in that case, we're gonna head off, and again, it's the same type of like weird journey where like the grav plating's fucked again. Like the ship's really weird. Like you might be walking away. Are you carrying anything in your hands or like?
No, it's just the backpack or
Cool.
whatever the suit has to store stuff.
Alright, cool. Which is essentially nothing.
Okay.
It's just a clunky spacesuit. But whatever you're wearing over it, like your backpack or your.
Oh,
bag
then
or
I have my
whatever,
backpack then.
I assume you were all carrying your shit. As you go, like every now and then, like you feel like the pull of the grav plating, like either like down heavier or like randomly like to the side and stuff like that. Like it's really messed up.
It's a bit like bathroom physics.
Very much so. I'm sure Claire would appreciate that. And yeah, so you kind of like wander off, and then you can like. So you had your corridor straight on. He had his off to the side, or should I say, Jhones had hers off to the left. You've maybe walked for about maybe 5-10 minutes already, and there's a very very large ship.
Okay.
And again, it's not like it's just straight lines everywhere. Even though I'm describing it as exactly that. You turn a corner, and again you just look straight down the corridor, and again there's white lighting flashing, lots of red lighting again, and then just like parts of the corridors that are just black,
Okay.
and then they flicker, and then black
Oh
again,
no.
and like much further down you can like you hear like a kind of clunk, clunk,
Space horror.
clunk,
The doors are closing!
and then you can't see anything though.
Okay.
Because again, I'm trying to look through different types of light and the darkness, but you just hear a clunk, clunk just from way down the corridor. And I mean like way down, it's quite a muffled noise.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean very muffled. So, Emma.
Yes,
Lily?
backup would be appreciated. I'm going to try and find the data.
Yeah, you go for it.
So I'm going to do
Switches.
I'm going to try and locate the science.
Bomb.
Is there a map or
Can you roll
directional?
perception for me?
Yeah, I do. Yes, I do.
Cunning.
It's one green and one yellow.
Okay, you have a triumph
Huzzah!
and an advantage, but no success.
Yeah. Well, I triumphantly don't find
So
a map.
you don't find the science lab, but you now have quite a bunch of narrative currency you can spend.
Excellent.
Tremendous
Can
ton of
What?
tremendous amount. Yeah.
can I know what language is being used in all of the
Sure.
wall?
Well, how's this happening from your perception? Just like by reading the signs and just translating it, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I've stumbled to my feet. I've shaken my head about a bit. Everything seems to have clunked back into position.
Cool. Any particular language you'd like it to be? Just one that nobody else speaks in the party?
Yeah, very nice.
Such as?
Well, you speak Hut, don't you? Huttese.
Well, that's
Yeah, you could enough to get by.
Yeah.
He's got hot.
What
Yeah.
language would it make sense to be? And would it be...
Honestly, it doesn't matter. Like as I say to you, like there was no specific kind of race in mind for this particular project,
Okay.
so I don't really mind. If you wanted to know a specific language that you would have preferred to have known, that's fine. But let's just say it's a very kind of specific kind of let's say it's like a very weird take on what's the best race to pick for this? Chess.
Okay.
It's chess. That's what race what language is in. Let's go with that.
Okay. Okay. I
Use
speak
it
Chiss.
there.
Good.
Remember, give missed all that, Craig.
Could it so happen that...
Sorry, like I know you find out who he was. Did everyone else? No.
Could it so happen that I, instead of finding the science, I am close to or managed to find a shortcut to where Thalia is approaching this scary med bay because I want to be in on the space horror.
Yeah, sure.
Because my initial, like my thinking of like what I would do in that situation, I'm like, I'm in a ship full of people that will probably come and help a damsel in distress. Maybe if I just scream,
In space, yeah. Everybody hears you.
everybody hears it.
I love the idea that like the camera zooms in on like maybe from the corridor viewpoint onto your suit, and you just go, you look down the corridor, you see all this, and then you hear like the muffled clunk clunk clunk, and then the camera just spins back to you, and you just go, and like scream, but obviously like you can't hear it, and then you go, oh, and you flick your comm on, and then scream again. And it's like the most forced look ever because
No, I'm not scared at all. It's just the case of if something's gonna happen, it's not gonna happen to me again. So somebody else needs to be here to fix
what do you mean
this
again?
issue. So
Yeah, I really
that's
like
good.
that.
I like that.
Yeah. Do you want to repeat that for Gibbs' benefit? Because that was very good.
So
Heard shortcut.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and find a shortcut to where Thalia is. So
she wants to get in on the space horror.
yeah, because space horror seems fun.
And the reason for her finding, will we go with that, or can we go with the reason that she got to me was because
Well, she can read the signs. She can literally go, oh, this way.
what the signs that say
Like literally.
approach you this way?
No,
Med
the
bay.
signs that say medbay, science lab, things that she cares about.
Okay.
She could just follow those and get there quicker
Fair
because
enough.
she's not like going, oh, this gravity, people that with, pressured suits care about.
Okay.
I'm just a droid. Droid life.
Hashtag droid life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Space time.
like
Space time droid life.
wanting to deal with the whatever noise is silently or getting closer to me, the thuds.
I never said getting closer.
Well, it sounded like it.
Did not.
Good.
Excellent.
In my head, I was thinking, I'm alone. Something might be down there. Not panicking at all. I'm like completely calm and mellow. Legitimately. But somebody
Now
else
that you
needs to.
corrected your own sarcastic tone.
Somebody else. Shut up. Adela. Somebody
I'm not
else,
stressed out at all, but genuinely
needs
I'm
to
not.
be with me. So essentially, I can use them as cannon fodder. So
You
I scream,
cold-hearted
but without my
bitch.
comms. So it. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
the
then
way I
flick
described
on.
it was like he's looking down the corridor and we see like the flickering lights and the red and the white light and then like the dark parts of the corridor and then he just hears like clunk, 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 and then camera pans back round to see the visor of Thalia's suit and you hear this scream that you see visibly, but you don't hear anything. And he's like, oh, and then he flicks the comms on and just fakes the scream again. And I quite like the visual of that. That's good. Yeah, sure.
And I kind of clatter up behind.
So everybody hears a scream over their comms, I guess. You hear a roar from Lily.
No!
I changed direction.
What's that?
I changed direction.
Oh, it's been 10 minutes. You should be at the rendezvous point already. How careless of you.
That you're not even at.
She doesn't know.
I love that. We'll meet back here in 10 minutes. You both just walk off. And you just don't meet back up.
We don't have a connection.
That was your bonding episode.
Yeah, she's going to be waiting for me for hours, bitch.
Sure, sorry.
Let's see if she cares
I
about
am
me.
the dominant.
3-leg on 3-leg aggression. No, thank you.
Twi'lek
So
on Twi'lek.
you hear Mr.
Definitely
Graham
the answer.
scream on comms what is it? What's happened?
Oh, it's just a bit
I'm just
dull.
gonna leave. I just won't leave that.
So you're not going to respond in comms?
Well,
Serendipity, do you respond to any of this on comms? So you've heard a scream, you've heard, Lily roar, and you've heard Mr. Graham ask that. Does anyone respond? Because everyone's on comms.
Yeah. At what point can I at this point kind of come clattering up behind?
No, I want you to respond or not first.
Okay. Has Mr. Graham already?
He said that, yeah. He said what he said. Both him and Lily were the first back on comms to basically be like, what? So what does everybody respond to? Just hearing you scream and then no reply from Thalia, who just screamed.
Would I be able to hear, because I don't have the obstruction of the helmet, would I be able to hear on comms and in real
No, just on
okay,
comms.
Just on comms. I would probably immediately Captain, are you okay? I just know that it's a woman.
Yeah.
I know it's not Mr. Graham.
I'm fine. I'm with Mr. Graham. Everybody check in. And then Lily growls. They've checked in, both her and Mr. Graham. You've checked in.
Oh yeah.
When he screams, I immediately turn around and start running.
Clank, 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 with your metal legs. And
it's the rest of your robot body coming to get you.
But the fact that he's faked the scream, I would like the roll to kind of
do you know that? Yeah.
realise that.
Right. Do you want to roll? You give me something, right? And you roll deception. Okay. And I will put this against each other. Right. So what is your deception?
Perception, surely. Yeah.
You can make perception if you want. Yeah. You can.
It's the only one that makes sense. I've
Yeah,
read through
that's
all of
fine.
them. And I'm like,
That's fine. This is kind of how the social combat works.
leadership.
No, that does seem to be the only one that.
There's
So-
no detection.
What's your right? What dice do I have for you?
1 green, 1 yellow.
1 green, 1 yellow. And Craig.
It was for deception, right?
Yep.
So just 3 green.
3 green. Best way to summarise this: pro and con. So good dice, bad dice, right? So I put you down as pro and you as con,
Okay.
just because they're in the same role to fight off each other. 2 advantages, and they're to you, obviously. That's what the results of this roll were. So yeah, that's essentially a failure at deception, but 2 advantages. So
the 2 advantages is
But
he comes running.
the opposed roll, I don't really know how opposed rolls work, because that would be in favour of me rolling
Yeah.
but that was against each other, which means you tied. So you can take. How do you want a tie to work in this situation? Because you've lied about something. I mean, how do you want this to?
How about
I'm suspicious.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm still
yeah.
running towards him.
You're like
But I'm thinking not everything is.
Yeah.
you don't know me as well as
I've not detected that you're faking it.
yeah, but then you're like, no,
but
she's kind of over dramatic.
something's-
Maybe you've heard screams before.
Yeah.
Like maybe you've been on a couple of missions that went sideways before.
Maybe I've had
Or
my
maybe-
legs cut off.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe you know what screams sound like, and that's maybe not the same. So yeah, you can. But what do you want your advantages to be? Because that's kind of your 2
He
advantages.
arrives,
Like
or she
Christopher Lee.
arrives.
Was that?
Like Christopher Lee. Why do you just scream like you've just been stabbed? I know what a man sounds like when he's been stabbed.
Terrifying story that was. Kind of wish I was there to have heard it. That would have been amazing. Also, because I've been at the set of Lord of the Rings being filmed. Yeah. Right, your two advantages are technically in that moment versus him. If you see what I mean. So, would you want that to be? Because you've currently got two people. Like,
How about just the realization that you care?
Oh.
I wouldn't call it advantage as such.
I would call it socially advantageous.
Can you just sit down in the middle of the floor and she turns up and you're like, you took your time. Anything could have happened.
Bitch, I could have died.
Because I'm dunking, the
Are
water
you-
supply.
Are you responding, Gib, though, to like what has been said on comms? Because that you were told to check in.
I would check in.
Did you? Like when?
After everything. After this.
Right, okay.
I was gonna say I'm on my way.
Alright, cool.
And that's it.
To where?
To where we split up.
But who are you
Follow
saying
the
that
path.
to? You might want to address that.
Everyone.
I'm on my way. Okay, then. Where is it?
I would hear that and I would respond.
That's
To
literally
where?
all I'm saying.
Alright, okay.
That's how I would respond to that. Right. Good. See you shortly.
What? What's wrong?
Your comms are dead.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't put your hand here. I mean, how are we supposed to know you're on comms?
What? What's wrong?
It's the rules of comms, everyone. Everyone knows this. What is your reply?
No, I don't.
Because I mean, what you now hear, maybe before you, maybe like just before you hear like, or you say, you know, or even you, in fact, even before you hear like Serendipity saying, I'm on my way, you just hear like, you've heard obviously clunk, 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 the muffled sound,
Yeah.
obviously coming through your suit. As soon as you've screamed, 2 seconds later, after you're basically like waiting to see what everyone's responses, and you hear like Lily and Graham and stuff like that, you're then all you hear is clunk, 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 clunk. How do you feel about the fact that this sound is now getting closer
Progressing.
to you?
You've attracted something.
And then obviously you've got I'm on my way. So maybe your response isn't good. Maybe you're scared now. Like, you tell me what Thalia would do when that happens, because things have now just changed.
Okay.
Run away. Into the darkness.
No. She would probably, go to one of the areas that's darker. Because he said this.
It's going to say it's quite a bit down the corridor. Like, it's through quite a, like.
Oh, that's further down.
Yeah, that's
Right,
what you were
okay.
looking
Heading
down
towards the dark noise.
Okay.
So if it was like a right turn that you were at, you came up.
I
the
guess
turn,
I'd
you looked down.
slowly backpedal my way.
There is a corner. I mean, there's a vent on the corner, but that's fine. I think
I call in the vent.
I think about vents.
She lives in the vents now.
Do you have a toolkit?
No.
You probably won't get that vent cover off then.
I have nails.
Oh, I see. In your
I'm
suit.
just yeah.
In your suit.
Yeah. I glamorize.
Isn't that the fashion of the day?
So, what'd you do, Craig?
Yeah, I slowly backpedal.
Okay.
Then if that's the case, I wouldn't respond. Then
Yeah, I figured you
because I'd
might
be
not.
more interested in what's coming. So I'd be
The
focused.
sound is coming from behind you. Where you're backpedaling to, it's not the clunk, clunk, steady rhythm. You still feel that. This is a new clunk, 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 clunk,
Okay.
clunk, clunk, clunk,
Right.
clunk, clunk, coming your way.
But that's fine.
Oh shit!
Because I would understand that that's
Would
the,
you?
the robotic feat of the comrade. So yeah, I would just backpedal away from the
Cool.
original sounding towards the happy clunks.
What way are you looking? Are you looking
I'm
down?
backpedaling, so I'm looking at the source of what I wanted to get
The
people's
unknown
attention
clunk.
towards.
Cool. You back up into something. Like you feel, you feel it pressed against your back.
Do I feel warm and happy?
No, it's kind of like it's almost like you're pressed up against a wall.
Okay.
You know there shouldn't be a wall there, and you still hear clunk, 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 clunk
Lily!
from the distance, and you obviously hear clunk, clunk, clunk from way down that corridor. So, what does Thalia do?
I turn around to investigate what I've bumped into.
What do you say? What does Emma say? Cyanine. Because it's cyanine you're backed up into.
So none of the people that I wanted.
Have you experienced a problem? Probably what I would say.
Kind of just point in the direction the sound's coming while going behind you.
It's like.
So no, just kind of sidestep twice, so I'm now behind you and point over your shoulder, heading,
Okay.
gesturing at the
Get
problem.
away, droid.
Go get him, buddy. Knowledge.
I think probably something that
Your science lab and med lab are, like med bay, sorry, are both down that corridor, by the way, just so you know.
fabulous. Off we go.
Okay.
I probably start off quite quickly, like excitedly towards my
Just off into the
destination,
darkness.
and then kind of slow down as I hear this thumping noise and kind of slow to a complete stop just before
I
the.
never said you heard the thump.
Oh, do I not?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, okay.
It's just the echo in my head.
Well, oh.
It's actually just his own heartbeat.
And would
Oh.
droid be apprehensive a bit around noise?
They can be. Like, they can be jittery.
Um,
But, yeah, like, they don't necessarily need to react to things like that, but I think in the rules they still need to make food checks and stuff, so
yeah, I think.
I
I
think
say that they don't have the same kind of imagination.
No,
Wow.
it's not. Well, rude.
you, like, if you're gunning it just back to that position, you get to the crossroads, and I assume you run off into the direction you're in.
Yeah.
Cool. You'll maybe catch up in a couple of minutes, maybe like 2 minutes. You've run off down a long corridor of darkness and light and such.
Potted off.
And what's Thalia doing now that she's standing exactly like, you know, where she bumped into?
Yeah,
Are you
I'd
just gonna
probably
go follow?
Follow. Come along,
Or are you gonna wait?
buddy.
Because you still hear clunk, 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 clunk. You still have. You can assume it's serendipity.
Okay, I guess I'd stick with the droid.
Come with
Cool.
me.
Yeah.
I go with the
Yeah,
droid.
first.
But
How
yeah.
far? Like, are you gonna go cautiously, or do you want to just like? Are you happy to like get to the science labs? Like, I mean, like, how do you want to deal with this? Emma, you're kind of leading the way here.
Yeah, I'd probably potter down.
I want to know how fast you are to determine how quickly he takes to catch up to you, basically.
Just pottering at a good pace until I hear this noise and see the kind of flickering of the lights and kind of stop a bit. Not because.
Do you do that creepy thing, Craig, where you're like, "What are you looking at? Why did you stop?"
Like, yeah, making the situation worse.
I think one of something that cyanine is probably a way that cyanine.
You brought your weapons, right?
Did that light flicker?
You brought your weapons, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured you might.
Both.
Cyanine deals with any kind of apprehensiveness by stating a fact and then saying that the thing is okay, and then stating a fact and saying that the thing is okay. So Cyanine is probably stood in the corridor in front of this patch of darkness and says, "The lights aren't working, that is probably perfectly alright, and there is a sound ahead, but it's probably nothing to worry about. Onward!" And then, like, potters off again, but slightly more cautiously, and occasionally goes, "But it's all okay. And there is nothing to worry about." And off she goes.
Cool.
He goes, it goes.
Yeah.
Cyanine.
Also, there's no darkness for you. You get your goggles.
Yeah.
I keep up.
There are moments where obviously Cyanide just kind of walks off into pitch blackness. Like, so that's fine. As long as you're just following the
Confident.
Cool. You probably run around the corridor and you see this long. It's my foot.
Oh, okay. Right, okay.
It's my foot. It's doing that vibrating thing, but because I'm wearing my slippers.
Okay, that makes sense.
You run around the corridor, not at the rendezvous point at all, so Thalia's not there. You now look at the corridor that Thalia once looked at, which is the long kind of sprawling red light and kind of thing, bright light down the bottom, but then just blackness and corridor patches and stuff as well, so you can't see past that. and again, you feel like you can kind of hear muffles, like the kind of clunk, clunk.
Can you use my binoculars to look down the corridor?
Sure, that negates penalties, yeah.
Mm.
Cool, in that case you can see both them, kind of like ambling down in the darkness then.
Okay.
So,
And they look fine.
don't know. Define fine.
I look.
Well, they're
You've
not
got someone in a
radiant
spacesuit
even.
with
They're
their back.
continuing on.
You've
I'm
got someone in a
finding
spacesuit
one
with their
in the
back to you,
corridor.
obscuring what looks like a droid.
Mm.
That's what you see. That's about it.
Right, I shout down Thalia.
What do I hear?
Nothing, unless he's calling you.
Okay, I'll calm her. Thalia,
Yeah,
stop where you
yes.
are and turn around.
Following droid. Medbay, remember? You were supposed to meet me 10 minutes ago.
Hypocrite.
He's not lying.
Why did you scream? What's wrong?
The noise, you can probably hear it.
What? The mechanical noise on a spaceship?
Mm-hmm. The wreckage. You've heard the ghost stories, haven't you?
You know, we probably just turned the power back on and something's trying to restart, or, you know.
That's the mechanic of the party speaking.
Yeah.
That's good to know, but would
No,
you like to
it
join us?
Must be ghosts.
Since you're here already.
Fine.
Please tell me
Way
something
there.
else ghost stories.
No wonder down there.
Right,
Thing.
so now
Pissed
together,
off.
I guess.
Pissed off, he's screaming at the dark.
Do you report back anything? Like, I mean,
That's all it becomes, isn't it?
like yeah, but you can
Everything's
each other
fine,
report
he's
back.
Oh,
just-
okay. Right.
Like, you know, something like, I'll assume that they're on open comms unless you specifically say you want to like make it a private
Okay.
comm. But I will assume everything's open because these missions are generally done on open comms for obvious reasons. Things go wrong, you want to get to the person quickly.
Mhm.
So, like maybe you hear like Lily growl or something reassuring.
Thanks, Lily.
Maybe. We'll never know. You hear the rustling of a cracker being punched.
She cares. She cares so much.
She's stress eating.
No, I can tell. Lily, your figure.
So yeah, you just want to go towards the sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure. It takes you right up to the kind of doors of the science lab. Big, huge, kind of, you know, X-Men looking doors, if you will, like the big kind of like metal, kind of circular, clicky in together panels.
Does that have a big X?
It does not. No.
Z?
No.
Oh, actually, is it an N for?
Nope, it's not.
It's not an Ishka ship.
Oh, right, so it's not. Yeah.
It clanks together, and that's what the thump has been. As you turn the corridor, and you can just hear like a clunk, clunk, and that's what you've been feeling through your suits. It's just them smacking off and not like mag sealing or whatever. But yeah, and most of this place is in darkness. Like there's the occasional flicker of luminescent light every now and then, but again, you know, the ship has been pretty much wrecked. So yeah, again though, no crew, no bodies, no sign of like a firefight, no like
Excellent.
yeah.
Mystery.
Yeah,
Okay, so can we force the doors apart?
sure. Somebody want to give me how you're doing that?
Well, they're trying to shut and not shutting. Yeah.
Yep, but you can't fit through the gap that they have.
Yeah.
Cool. And there's also like, there's like a double door, if you will. So it's like the outer doors are clanking, but the inner doors are closed. So you need to pry open both sets, basically. So let me know how you're doing that.
Okay. Is there any debris about, or
Depends. Do you want something?
is there any kind of exposed piping that that someone, well,
Yeah, sure. There's something
Very
to rip a pipe off the wall.
yeah, that could be right.
You can if you want. You can try.
I will try. I'm rubbish at brawn and things, but I will give it a fair shot.
Cool. Yeah.
You rip off your own arm.
And hit the door with it. Nothing productive.
What's your brawn
1.
and your athletics?
1.
Nothing on athletics.
Is it?
1.
Okay, cool. You're going just for
Solid.
like a pipe nearby, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Somehow a triumph.
2 failures, 2 threat.
Okay.
I believe that translates as you go to try and pull a pipe off the wall, realise that it's pretty much solid and attached to the ship, can't really get it off, and then you feel like your arm, obviously, like you're pulling and pulling, but then obviously like maybe your joints slowly weakening.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, oh dear, and you take 2 strain.
Oh dear. Oh my.
Can I then try and help the droid?
You could just take over. I think that's probably
Yeah.
safer.
It's like,
This is like C-3PO
You're not
trying
really
to do anything with
built
those
for
fixed
this.
arms.
and then I'll try and lever the
Like literally, you could get her better arms.
pipe off.
When you say lever off with what? The droid?
Just like apply pressure.
Cool.
To your knee.
What's your athletics? I guess.
3.
I need more details than that. Just 3 green.
Oh, athletics is no, it's off wrong. It'd be 1 green, 1 yellow.
Okay, cool. Is anybody else doing anything, or just waiting to see what Serendipity does?
We can see what's up.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Good, okay. Cool. You pull the pipe off, right? So you like rip open one part, but it starts like spraying this liquid stuff over your suit and stuff. You take 2 strain. You can describe the strain in any way you wish, like a high-pitched scream or whatever. But you take 2 strain from that, and like it kind of like hits, and there's like kind of like not a hiss, but whatever a hiss traveling through the medium of a suit would be, so you can hear that. But I doubt it would still sound like a hiss, if that makes sense. But it's just blasted like you in the face at the visor essentially. It's maybe fogged up a little bit, and it's probably gave you quite a bit of like maybe a shock at least, or like a fright if you will. But that's what you get. So you get 2 strain.
Okay.
So take that. But you do have a bit of a pipe.
Yeah.
How long? How long of a bit of a pipe?
I don't know. What do you want? Like 2 meters? Meter and a half? What do you want?
I was thinking 2 feet, but yeah.
I'm getting this. Give me 2 feet if you wanted to be 2 feet. I don't
Yeah, I think it's just enough to.
know. How about a
kinda-
meter? How about we call it a meter?
Okay, we'll call it a
You
meter.
have a meter pipe.
We'll have to jam in the door so that we can walk through the door. Is all I
Well,
was
again,
thinking.
you'd need to pry open the door
Yeah.
and then jam it in. Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll give the pipe to you.
Good.
You take the left half, I'll take the right. We're going to pull it apart.
So
And
you're going to put your
this bit of
fingers in the
pipe.
clanking doors.
Now we can put the pipe in between so that it doesn't clank completely shut, so that you've got a bit
Now
of
someone's
purchase.
rolling with intelligence.
Yeah.
That's why you have 4 intelligence.
As you were going to get both your sets of hands like crushed. Oh, robot fingers are all in. Yeah, cool. That's a better
Gloves. I can fix it with gloves.
idea. It's like you've got fingers again. And me. Okay, so the plan is to jam a bit of pipe in to stop the clanky doors, and then you are both going to try and rip the doors open, and you're going to try and jam that bar in. Okay. How are you doing this? Tell me what skills you're using.
Teamwork.
Teamwork will come in.
Friendship
Who would
and
like to be
trust.
Oh my god, power of friendship can open a door
It might.
to the window of your heart.
Who is going to be the primary actor? I'm going to assume it's probably going to be you.
Yeah. So
Cool.
give us all that strength.
So, your athletics was 1 yellow, 1 green?
Yeah.
Cool. Craig, you're helping, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. And you're helping as well.
Yeah.
There's a pipe, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, let's throw the pipe. Where's the button for pipe? There we go. I'm rolling.
Rolling.
Ooh.
Roll.
Everybody takes a strain.
Good.
You can describe why that is, but you succeed.
Yeah.
Nope. Wrong of that. I do not take the strength.
Don't.
What he means is he has a talent
Good point.
that stops him taking one.
Oh no, that's me.
No.
So I take
No.
that one. That's
No.
Yep.
Wait. What? What?
Dear Christ, I'm so happy you all had your own ones of these.
Really?
It's always done.
You didn't give yourself one there.
Cool.
I just give them 2. So, you want to describe how you don't take strain for this? Because I think that's more interesting to see.
Can people explain how they took strain first so I can
sure,
counteract that?
Obviously, taking strain can be described as narratively as you want, but like just think of the action you did in.
We're forcing against this,
Mm-hmm.
the mechanical movement of the door.
You should
So
have
it-
like
it
your
is-
leg and just.
As we're trying to drag it, it's fighting against us every time it tries to clank.
Mm-hmm.
We're pulling it backwards, so it's kind of pulling back muscles and
Yeah, sure.
making it
That's fine,
difficult.
yeah. Like keep in mind, it can just be like worry as well. Like that is
That's
a thing
probably
can-
mine. Mine
Yeah.
would probably just be concerned that it's going to clank shut and both of their fingers are going to be smashed
Yeah,
forever.
that makes sense
and
for you. Yeah. What about you?
You're not actually putting any effort in at all.
I was kind of wanting to see if we could do that, but would that remove?
Yeah, we removed.
Okay, yeah.
So you did help
Yeah.
because that happened, and this is the result of that help.
Well, perhaps my effort wasn't as strenuous as somebody else. My hands were in place.
Well, what
and-
is your talent called that you have that lets you ignore that?
Being a bitch.
Yeah. That ass bitch, yeah. It's called Resolve.
So maybe this isn't the first time you've had to do some shit like this. Like maybe like again, jimmying open doors or potentially having your hands lost in machinery. Like I don't know. You want to tell me like why? It's a bit more interesting to maybe explain why this doesn't phase you at all in any way, despite you fake screaming earlier.
The slammed doors of your jilted lovers.
Wow.
Wow, harsh. If
Paint a horrible picture about my love life.
I
really.
heard paint a horrible picture.
Seals.
Arr.
And also sound people.
Yeah, like I mean, you can just not if you don't want to, but I just think it'd be more interesting if there was a reason for why you just get to ignore strain that way.
Sure.
Because obviously it's based on resolve, so it's obviously something that just doesn't phase you.
Yeah.
So that's how you want that to play out. Kind of, this is the parts where you can kind of carve little personality niches into your characters.
Yeah, well. Yeah, I guess.
Yes, I carve a personality niche into my character. That's why I don't take strain.
Maybe you just never worry about actually getting hurt because you believe that you're too beautiful and the fates have something in store for you. Like, they can't ruin this.
Or maybe you're just not used to like medical practices that you know that if something crushed your fingers, you'd know how to go about getting them fixed eventually. Like I don't know, maybe there's something to do with that. Like you're just comfortable in your own knowledge or your connections or something. Who knows? Like it could be that. It could be you just don't give a fuck about hands.
I really do, though.
You probably do, yeah.
They're very essential.
But maybe you're like you've never had an excuse to get cool like medical like grade cybernetic arms
I don't
before.
want that. No, you're not painting me into that picture.
Hey, if you leave your character with me.
No, it does not become a droid.
Narrative plethora. So
What's wrong with droids, excuse me?
nah, not got
Not really, no.
no, that's okay. We don't need to like have one. It's just that it's a good opportunity to actually,
Yeah,
have that.
noted.
Because obviously it'll be different every time, which is interesting. Or maybe it's the same reason for similar situations and
Yeah.
stuff. But
Well, then, if that's the case, then let's just go with the fact that it's medical knowledge. So, the understanding that, like, even if this was to crush it, whatever, thing this is, going out, wouldn't be so detrimental as to, not be repaired again.
sure, yeah, just racing.
Staved fingers instead of broken, cut off.
But the knowledge doesn't make him superhuman. It just
Well, it does.
maybe it stops him worrying about the fact. It's like, well, they break, they'll get fixed. No big deal. Right, cool. Yeah, you probably open the outdoor. It's fine. Like you can jam in the bar as well, like just in between the doors, like So you've now got like a meter gap because obviously you wanted a meter pipe. So you've now got a meter gap worth on the outer door.
Go on through?
No.
No?
I told you there was two doors.
Second
Remember?
door.
Immediately behind the first one? Or...
No, there's space.
Oh, right, okay, so we
Is
scoot through the
there,
first
like,
door.
Is it kind of
Well,
almost
I
like a
would.
decontamination type
Which
thing?
is exactly a decontamination chamber.
Okay.
Well, I would probably scoot on through because germs. What's going to contaminate me? Rust! Ha ha ha! I laugh at rust.
As a bit of rust falls off you.
Oh no. No, come back!
That was my favourite piece of rust.
You've abandoned me for the last time.
That's a keeper.
Yeah.
So,
Could. No, never mind, that wouldn't
what
make
were
sense.
you thinking?
Well, like, medical knowledge, I'm like, well, Decontamination chambers, I would have encountered them, surely.
Yeah, if you want to do, yeah. Like, if it makes sense for your backstory, sure.
So, would I know generally where overrides would be, or... Actually, I probably would.
But you're not, like, you're literally not looked around anything. You've just seen the fact that you've all climbed into this decontamination chamber.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you're now kind of like, they kind of like, as I say, maybe it's a few meters, like maybe, I don't know, 4 meters by like 6 meters maybe, something like that, like, you know, and standard ship height of 2 meters I imagine, given the fact that various races. So you step in there and yeah, there's like a panel on the side, but it's dead.
Can I try and is it computers or mechanics?
It's a pure panel,
Can I try
but
and
it's dead.
beep boop? Oh, there's no
No power.
beep boop.
Only seemed like the outer door was powered.
Can I whack it and hope that works?
With what, like your hand?
Yeah.
Roll, brawn.
1.
I'll roll it for you.
Brawn or brawl?
Oh.
Which probably isn't that brawl, but
No,
it's
I
based on brawn.
It'd be fun if you did, though.
I'm assuming you don't have that.
No. Just brawn.
You don't hit it. You
Wait.
failed to hit it.
Do I give it a stern
And
talking
you
to?
get 2 advantages, but there is the roll you just did.
Excellent.
So you failed to hit a panel that is stationary.
But...
Long day.
But, yeah, if
Okay.
you've not grasped the fact that doing stuff will give you narrative currency, always, even if you fail, you'll always have some kind of narrative effect. So always suggesting to do something pseudo-relevant.
Can I talk to it? If I talk to it, will it talk back? Can it talk back?
No power. No, there's no power.
Why is there no power?
See the part where I said there's no power?
I know, but I sorted this. There was a whole thing.
Could the, like,
You blew yourself
advantage
into a
that you
wall.
get seeing the plug isn't actually just plugged at the thing?
Yeah, can I plug it in? Can I fix it? Can I make it power?
Yeah, you roll something for that?
Yeah, can I roll computers?
Sure.
Please. 2 green and 2 yellow, please.
It's infinite difficulty because there's no power.
And there is no way to achieve power. There's no power line.
You've not tried to achieve power. You've just tried to do computers to a dead computer.
Can I try to achieve power?
Sure. Do you want to go to the power room? Or do you want to try and do it here?
Here, please.
Cool. Find a panel. You
Good.
basically need to rip a part of the wall off
Okay.
to access the
can I-
mechanics of this wall.
Can I rip off a part of... Yeah, I'll do that.
Sure. Does anyone
Using the power of friendship again?
and
And pipe?
depends what she's saying because she's describing this to me, but obviously I don't know what she's actually like doing to you guys because so far she just went. Basically, I don't know. One of you guys could maybe have went, oh, there's a computer panel, and she's obviously scuttled over to it and then just hit it. But technically, more like just tapped it because there was not really a hit, if you will. So she kind of just tapped it. But you've got 2 advantages from that roll, so like you've not spent them yet.
Okay, can I assess
But it
whether it
cannot-
would be...
Create power from nothing.
No, okay. Can I assess whether it would be easier to pry the door open or whether we would need the assistance of a power line or this computer panel?
Yeah, sure. Do you want to roll mechanics or something for that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Um,
This is more for the knowledge of how
yeah, that's-
tough this door would be, I
that's
guess.
fine. 3 green and 1 yellow, please.
3 green and 1 yellow.
And what else goes in the mix?
Yeah. Just an average check.
Okay.
Well, no.
No?
It's 2 advantages you got from that roll.
Excellent.
So, you don't know this model of door. You know nothing about this door.
Can
Yeah.
the advantage be used to notice that there's an emergency release?
There isn't, no.
No?
Is there a window in the door? Or a viewing panel to the next room?
Solid door.
Okay.
There is like a camera and stuff in the decontam and like red lighting and shit like that, but like none of that's on. But you can see like, you know, a bulb, and you can see the camera like orb.
Okay.
But You've still got like 2 advantages worth to spend on something.
Okay. Can I use the advantages to know which panel I need to rip off in order to
Yeah, totally.
re-establish a power connection?
Cool.
Fabulous.
It's near
I'll do
the
that.
obviously the computer control. It's like underneath the actual keypad on the computer. So obviously, if you're looking at this door, like to the left-hand side of it, there's obviously a column of wall, and most of like the top bit's like a kind of data entry port thing, and then underneath it there's some panels. I mean, they're quite like this is a sealed room. For all those reasons, just a decontamination room.
Okay.
And you want to break that seal.
Yes. Okay. I would probably give the panel a kind of like hit it a little bit, and then turn around to Serendipity and say, "Miss Jones, would you mind?" And just kind of indicate to the panel.
Indicate to her, that's me. I don't need to know that.
What? It's computer.
I have been thinking, if I could remove this panel and re-establish the power line, I could be able to override the doors.
Then take it off.
I was not built with strength as a primary function.
He's talking about the lab coat, dear. Take it off.
Dun, 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 dun.
Because it's a decant.
Your air supply beeps.
Fine. Go. I don't kick the panel.
You gonna kick the panel,
I
yeah?
don't kick the panel.
100%
How you kick the panel?
With my foot.
Yeah, but how many dice? give me your dice.
Brawl.
Yep.
2 yellow.
Yeah, cool. 2 success and a threat.
Cool.
I'm spending a threat, and it's not on stream, but you won't find out what that is yet.
Okay.
So you kick off. You basically, like, again, do the old the Jhones special. You kick your heel into the kind of panel underneath the computer, and then it like buckles the panel in, and then both parts pop off, and then so it's essentially the kind of thing you can just like pry it off.
Yeah.
And it has like a bent piece of metal, and there's lots of wires and stuff, and cabling and mechanical parts and shit. So that's there.
Thank you. And I go and computers it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're doing the mechanics of it though.
Do I want to mechanics it?
No,
Okay.
it's not a computer.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. 3 green and 1 yellow.
Yep, cool. 3 green, 1 yellow. Yep, cool. And what is it you're trying to achieve with this?
To re-establish the power to the computer.
You can see that there's how to describe it. Power is going elsewhere, but you can pretty much like rip a cable in half, jam it into another cable, essentially creating a really rough bypass. So, oh, this thing has power, this cable doesn't. If I just open this cable and jam this cable into that cable,
Okay.
I can do that.
I do that.
Yeah, cool. The panel and stuff flickers and like slowly comes to life, and like the door lights and stuff come on.
Beepity beep boop.
Cool. Give me a
Metagaming wise, I'm going to say that's probably a bad idea, but.
Yeah, well.
I spent
Okay.
that threat well, put it that way.
Okay, it's 2 green and 2 yellow on computers.
Cool. I'm going to spend a destiny point
God damn.
because again.
And what does that buy me? Buy.
That buys me. Yeah, I'm upgrading one of the dice basically.
Does it become black?
No.
Ah,
And it becomes a red from a purple.
darn.
That's for you.
Yeah.
What are you trying to achieve with the
Override the inner doors. So that they
Yeah,
open.
cool. You have 2 advantages, but you also have a despair.
Oh no.
Yeah. The warning comes on. A very large warning. A large warning, a loud warning, I should say. Well, from what you can hear. Also, Craig, can I have more tea?
Would you? You sure?
No.
Chai, lemon Earl Grey, regular tea. Bema?
Yeah, I'd love tea. Actually. Chai,
Chai,
please.
lemon, Earl Grey.
Yeah, it's lemon Earl Grey.
Oh, lemon, Earl Grey.
Ooh, lemon Earl Grey.
Lemon
Lemon
Earl
Earl
Grey.
Yeah.
You can tell this is a
Very
British
much
RP, can't you?
What?
You can tell this is a British RP given the tea choices.
Chai or lemon Earl Grey. Lemon Earl Grey, please.
Lemon Earl Grey.
Yeah,
Excellent.
So you rip open the cabling, jam into the cabling, the power and stuff comes on, sure. You've got 2 advantages that you can spend on this. But as the disparity, like as I said, a lot of alarms seem to go, and the outer door reseals itself completely, crushing the pipe.
Excellent job. Wonderful. Can I access the? You said there was a camera in the decontamination chamber.
Yeah, sure.
Can I access the last recordings of the last video footage, or?
You don't have access to wherever that's stored,
Okay.
but you can look through it.
Okay. Can I? Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can tap into that, and then like you just see into the contamination room, which is where you are,
Okay.
or the decontamination room, I should say, not the contamination room. That sounds a lot more dangerous.
Are there any other camera feeds? Like, can I access any cameras from inside the medbay itself?
Do you want to try and get access to that? Computers again, yeah.
Yeah. 2 green, 2 yellow.
Dum, 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 dum.
I'm expecting piles of bodies.
It's 3 successes and 1 threat. So you get a strain, because I can't think of anything else with that. And yeah. Now there's several cameras to cycle through. Do you want me just to go through all of them?
Yes, please.
Cool. So, first camera you see into the science lab. Various states of lighting. You can kind of make out where the computer core might be, because that's obviously your priority. You can see into med lab. Place looks like it's been ransacked, but yeah, it's a med lab. It's very obvious, like an infirmary, if you will. There you can see into the cargo hold, because again you've just tapped into the security system. As you can see in the cargo hold, you can see obviously Captain Tula Brown and R. Graham like ripping apart like bits of the ship and moving cargo crates and stuff, and they just seem to be staring at a giant door, like kind of almost like a cargo door, if you will. Beyond that, you can see like the airlock camera. Anything specific you'd be looking for
No signs of life anywhere.
that you can see besides the crew that you have came with? Obviously, a lot of the cameras are dark because the rooms they're in are dark, but yeah, and your goggles don't work that well.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Keep in mind, Gib, that you can jump in at any point and help her out. Like that's something that can happen. Like narratively, it's open, like for everyone to kind of be involved. Like obviously, the resources are up for everyone to spend. It's just whatever you all particularly think is the best option.
Yeah, because I'm thinking the only thing really left to do is force the door. By that I mean the inner door, like force the inner door. But that wouldn't be my. Thank you.
Sugar and stuff, yeah. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're not
No, I'm fine, thank you. But that wouldn't be my automatic go-to because I'm not strength-driven. But if you wanted to, that would be good.
Keep in mind that you have forced the door already, so it wouldn't be like a million miles away to reach that conclusion.
No, it's just I would probably be prepared to wait and pat about with the computer and kind of try and work things out that way before.
Sure. Do you want to catch Craig up?
We're sealed in.
Sealed in.
Yeah.
Great. So what happened to the door behind us?
It
They
crushed
tried to crush and tried to seal and the pipe got crushed. And
Right.
shut.
Okay. Sure, that's a good thing though. If it's
Yeah.
decontamination, it needs to decontaminate.
Can you describe how you got power to the door, Emma?
Yes. Serendipity kicked off a panel,
Mhm.
and I mechanicked it by bypassing where the power was going and kind of jamming a cable into another cable that kind of fed power into the computer.
Mhm.
The
Terminal?
computer terminal. Yes. I kind of poked about with that. Couldn't override the
Draw a despair symbol.
Not despair. Couldn't override the inner doors. But I have access to the computer cameras from around the ship. Everything looks kind of deserted and dark. But we saw the captain and Graham.
Meta-wise, the despair is probably going to be a bad thing later on because Emma's taking the power away from somewhere.
Gaia.
That was probably important.
Yeah,
So-
I suppose.
Maybe. We don't.
We've unleashed the pet Sarlacc of the ship. Something like that.
Kraken husband, gold.
They're shipping baby Sarlaccs.
Oh. Can we feed them kittens?
That's horrible. And she goes out on a high note. Fed to a baby Sarlacc. Thalia, virtuous path.
Rip in space.
No, she's not dead yet.
Digested over 1,000 years. But half hanging out of a baby Sarlacc.
It's just eating one of your toes. It's like nibbling away. This is going to take longer than 1,000 years.
Per bite. So, these are in the decontamination room. Some red lights. There's a computer panel with power. The door has forced itself shut behind you, crushing the pipe. And you have a
The
door.
pipe on the inside or the outside?
It's crushed and
The outside.
flipped on the outside. I would have told you if it was inside, don't worry.
Yeah.
Any resources I think you guys need to be aware of, I'll try and highlight if I can, but
Mm.
don't be worried about asking those questions. Just as I'm aware of everything that's lying around.
We have a
And-
panel.
You have a bit of a panel.
We have a bed
and-
bit now.
Yeah. And you've got a droid with access to security cameras.
So yeah, I would have shown you the security cameras. Would have indicated that, oh look, it's the captain.
So what exactly do we see through the cam? Like, which cams do we see?
She saw all. So she
Um,
All of it.
All of it, yeah, everything looks kind of deserted. The med bay looks like it's been ransacked, but again, deserted and typical med bay stuff. Located where we think the computer core is, in the science labs, which is beyond the med bay, I'm assuming. And yeah, saw the cargo hold.
I'm gonna comms to
Cap.
Brown.
Graham.
Tula Brown.
To Brown. We've got ourselves sealed in. Heading into the medbay. What's that?
Science lab, maybe. It's the same
Yes. Okay, sense please. Myself, the droid, and Smith. If you could come help us there, that'd be great. We're gonna try to get it ourselves. We'll let you know how we go.
And the reply is it's from Graham, because I'm assuming that was only from comms. Like it's from Mr. Graham being like, are you in any danger?
Other than oxygen levels.
Well, we're gonna finish up loading up the ship, and then we'll swing round for you. You know, half an hour. Because we'll need to obviously navigate through the ship to where you guys are.
Okay.
Copy.
We'll keep trying to get out. Let you know.
Roger.
Roger.
Yep. So, you now have like a half an hour of waiting, unless you want to try stuff.
Forcing the door seemed to work. Let's
You can keep looking through video camera feeds if you want, like to just check all of them. There's loads. The ship's huge, as I said.
Okay.
If you want to keep doing that, because that's something you've got access. You don't need to. Like you flicked through a couple, went because you went through several of just dark, because it was like power isn't everywhere. It's up to you. You
Okay.
can do that, or you can play around with the computer panel, or you can screw around with doors. You just start kicking off more bits of the wall. You can drag it back out the way you come in. You just, you know. And you got any cards? You can play space poker. Like, you just tell me what you want to do.
I'd probably I'd probably want to move on to the inside the med bay.
But how?
I think again I would walk over to the inner doors and kind of give them a half-hearted kick.
Seem to work for Jhones.
And turn around to Serendipity again. Miss Jhones, if you
I'm not your battering ram.
I am not merely the droid.
Good point. What's is there no rebuttal, or does she just like does she stare stoically, or? Because I much prefer the description. I stare stoically back rather than just you actually staring stoically, and I have to then describe it like this. But what's the response to that, Ms. Jones? Is it Ms? If you don't have it, it's fine. Like, maybe have Thalia jump in.
With what?
Don't know.
We're
The
sealed
weather was
in,
great today.
Wasn't it just?
Yous will die in space. I'm going to put this out here. Yous will die in space. Oh my god.
In fact, you said we can comms personally, right?
Yeah.
As well as.
Totally.
Alright, comms Lily.
I comes. The droid.
Hello!
Hello, this is private.
I comms Lily. Inform her of our situation and see if she's willing to help out our BFF. Her space BFF.
What is it you say exactly? Like, calm her. No, just calm. Like, go.
Lily, darling, we seem to have got ourselves into a bit of trouble. Yes, it's awful. I explained that, the door shut behind us in a decontamination bay in med area of the ship, and we're not going to get rescued until in about 30 minutes, and just wondering if there's anything that you can do. Yeah? Okay. So how's the ship? Yeah? View nice? Okay. Yeah, it's a bit boring asteroids, aren't they? Alright. Yes? Any chance you can help?
And he rambles off for a bit.
Okay, thanks Lily. See you soon.
And it keeps probably like talking, and you close comms.
And what did we gain?
This is why I said I think it's more fun when people choose not to know languages. Lily is my favourite.
I think Lily's coming to help us. Or doing
Do
something.
you say this to them, or like are you
Yes.
talking to me?
Yeah, just like Lily's coming to help, and then you sit down
I
on
think
the floor.
Lily's coming to help.
Remember, you don't get narrative resources unless you roll stuff. So
But can I not roll friendship?
you have that skill.
Roll the power
Okay,
of love.
Here's the destiny pool as well. By the
could
way.
I roll like coercion? Or
On,
Lily?
Charm.
Charm.
her.
Charm.
I
Be
believe
nice.
there needs to be some kind of understanding. So you wouldn't have any indication of any of that worked for like half an hour. Do you see the point? Like currently, Lily might have got up and ran to your rescue, but you don't know that.
But, well, can I roll charm now to get a sense of if it worked?
You mean you want to calm Lily again? Is what I heard.
No, well, the initial comms was the charm.
Oh, was it? 'Cause
Lily,
none
darling.
of that sounded.
How's the
charming.
ship? The view. I was charming.
I know,
Absolutely
I know
charming.
every one of Lily's responses, and none of it was in response to being charmed. Lily answered all your questions.
Come
Lily, please.
Space physics.
Yeah.
If you were to fire a light blaster at the door, would a ricochet occur?
How much do you know about weapons?
I don't know.
Tell you what, let's do an education roll, right?
Okay,
Let's
yes.
That's a good thing, right? Let's do that.
Yes.
It's probably average. What's your education?
Could I have 2 green and 2 yellow?
Yeah, that's exactly what they split it up. Good, I'm just going to roll. 1 failure, 3 advantages. So, you have no idea if this could happen or not. You probably only have, like, you're maybe not even sure if your gun works. Like, isn't it maybe something that you felt I should have so people can see it, so that when I'm doing my science, people don't interrupt me or treat me like just a droid. So maybe you've got obviously your blaster pistol on you, but maybe you've never needed to fire it before. However, it's up to you why you do that. But you have no idea what will happen if you shoot this door.
Okay.
I did use several words that should be an indication to everyone who was listening to the words I used when I described bits of this scenario that would answer that question. But whether you heard them or not,
I'm still thinking Lily will save me.
that's totally, because that's a private call. Like, nobody else, you know.
Do I not need to roll charm?
No.
Oh, okay, alright. So our friendship counts for something.
What you mean is, you'll need to call her again and actually present a charm.
I was charming. Absolutely charming. I was Mary Poppinsing the shit out of all of that.
Yeah, sure.
Delightful in every way.
Could I kind of pull out my blaster and look at it?
She's got 3 advantages to spend, by the way, group.
And then just kind of hit the door with the butt of it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like...
You hit the door with the butt of the gun. Yeah.
Bonk. Oh, the sound that it makes. Can we determine that the door itself is
Thin, hollow.
like worn down by something? Some narrative reason that the door might be a little bit weaker?
This door was made of cardboard!
It was crackers! Lily's on her way!
If only she could get in for the outer door.
And
She's got
could,
Wookiee strength. And also I'm her bae.
Could the blaster be like a little bit metal? So like should stick if they're metallically locked, but it doesn't, which means they're not metallically locked and we could pry them open easier or something like that?
You have
Knowledges.
you get 3 advantage, right? There's quite a lot of narrative resource. User or a group, come up with something.
Come on!
Come up with 2 things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I am
Structurally
giving
weak
you an
door
idea
or not
to
locked
come up
door.
with something that will work.
This could work. Yeah, narratively they work.
It was subtle. They did not work.
Okay. God, what did you say that was important?
It's okay, you didn't do the thing that would have made it really important. So we're fine.
Okay.
Had you shot it, you maybe shot yourself in the foot when you remembered. What was it? You also had this situation going on.
Could we just flip one over and open?
No, but you could maybe try and buy a very good narrative boost to something that will then let you do that bullshit.
Known as crackers.
No, and I'm just going to take a point off for that.
The door is crack.
No, I think Thalia is cracking under the pressure of being trapped. Maybe she's actually
Just hitting her head against the door. Like,
slowly
but the
cracking her
door
helmet.
is crack. I like it. I see it. Okay, so we're locked in a room.
how about-
Space box. You guys have been locked in rooms
How
before.
about during that conversation with Lily?
No, this was
One of the advantages was that this one was listening in on comms. It wasn't. In fact, no. I commed her in
no,
because I knew she was the
the
translator.
advantage comes like it's all tied to the fact that she's hit the door with a gun,
With the butt of the gun.
or like sorry, technically rolled a knowledge check against this is what the roll was for. It was a knowledge check she rolled to see if shooting it would cause ricochet. But she didn't get that information. She knows nothing about that information, but she has 3 advantage from something that could have been gained from that situation. That had nothing to do with you talking to a Wookiee you can't understand.
Okay.
See when you're away, Craig, on your travels, learn Wookiee.
No. I like
Okay.
when Lily's a wall.
What's
Project
like
easy.
Yeah, only learn to speak it. Don't learn to listen.
Oh, good. I never will.
Could the sound of the door makes be quite like tinny, so that we know it's quite thin?
It's not thin, trust me.
Oh God. Is it hollow?
No.
Oh.
You have the almost equivalent of a triumph in terms of narrative resources. You guys need to get good at this, because this is the bread and butter of your game.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying you just need to start thinking narratively. You know what you have around you. How can you then make that work for you? And this is where you buy it from me with this resource. And it has to come from something you could have gained about the fact that you rolled education about what this type of door, how this would react to being shot by a blaster.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you kind of, the real reason you rolled that though was because you wanted to know if it would ricochet.
So you're thinking about the door.
You know fuck all about ricochets, but you rolled about using a gun against a door.
Okay.
You see where I'm coming from here?
Right.
This is how you guys need to go, what did I do that I can pull other information from that I might not have got, because it's got nothing to do with the actual question I asked, but it's in the same genre. A non-binary genre, of course.
Right. So we know. Well, I have no idea whether or not it will ricochet, but what could we have found out about shooting a door? Will
Or using weapons against
Or
it.
using
You can keep it like. I'm obviously willing to go quite easy on interpretation for things like this, but that does not make a door suddenly thin.
no. Can we know where?
It's a nice try, but it doesn't do it.
Can we know where
You just
there's
have 3
a?
destiny points that you just haven't touched.
Can we know where there is, like, if there's a certain pressure point at the door where if like force is applied it will buckle or allow for it to be opened more easily?
Well, maybe it's not so much about force, because you were thinking about applying a gunshot to the door.
Is there anything we know about applying a gunshot to a door and how that would help?
What do you know?
Well, I would like to know.
Do you want me to tell you what I said earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
These doors were mag sealed.
Right.
Right. Episode 1, or technically episode 4, I guess. They're mag sealed into the group, like the garbage compactor.
Oh, I recall. Yeah.
What happens when they shut the door? And shut the door.
My God, where is Stephen?
Yeah, turns out Stephen pushes this ridiculously. Like, don't do that, we tried that already, and the shot ricochets around the entire garbage compactor.
Yeah.
And Rebecca continues smashing on the door.
Okay, so shooting the door is probably not a good idea.
Probably. That worked.
So we have her on the computer. Yes.
Yeah, still power, yeah. Essentially she's triggered the decontamination lockdown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that giving us like a timer on the screen? Does that activate
There's
anything
nothing on the screen, it's just lit up, if you will.
Right.
It's almost like, you know,
Yeah.
like in things in standby mode, until you interact with them,
Yeah.
like that.
I think we should go
Please
and
take a
try and
picture of the medical emergency.
activate the decontamination. Be decontaminated, and maybe the doors will open.
Actually trigger the function of the room.
Good.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Now, how did this come up in casual conversation? You've got someone talking to a Wookiee, and then you've got you who's actually come up with it, which is a great idea, and you with the narrative resources to spend.
Okay. Maybe I hit the door with the butt of my gun, and I don't know. You give me some kind of disparaging comment of like this isn't going to work. Go back to the thing that you're actually good at.
Okay. You know it's max sealed, right? Hitting it with the butt of a gun is gonna do fuck all. The room has sealed because you were pissing about on the computer. Maybe if you continue with that instead of trying to break out of the door with a back end with a
With your
blaster.
shitty droid arms. I like my robot legs. Kicking for days. Kick for victory. Vote Serendipity Jhones.
Maybe just in the sentence itself that you actually just say decontamination, which sparks it with you. You're like, oh yeah, it's a decontamination room. Probably needs a decontaminate before the door opens.
Yeah, because I'm covering.
Stupid droid triggered the decontamination protocol.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah,
Something
okay.
like that.
like, oh yeah,
Don't-
blurb.
Okay.
Okay.
So she says that. I think and go over and start tip tapping
Cool.
on the computer panel, trying to initiate the decontamination sequence.
Sure, yeah, you can spend your whole, like, 3.
Yes, all of them.
Yeah. Cool. Mists, spray, various liquids spray on you guys. You're particularly uncomfortable by this because
Yeah.
you're like, what is this?
Rust.
But to be fair, probably something that maybe you were waterproof once.
Mhm.
Does it wash off the stuff that's on my suit?
Oh yeah, that was just that stuff just kind of caught you off guard. That
Yeah.
was almost like coolant or something.
Okay.
Like it was nothing. It wasn't like alien acid that will make a change.
In
Don't
case
worry.
it's about eating through my suit or something.
No, it was just had there been a lot more threat. That's probably what you assumed it would have done, is burst your suit, which is why you probably get shocked. And you're like, oh god, my suit's gonna. No, we're good. We're good.
If I just stick my head at this egg.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, decontamination cycles through, and the door is open. It goes, boom, green, door's open.
Fucking door puzzles.
I know, right? The other funny thing is, see last week, not a single door puzzle. You just draw them out of me. You get yourself in situations where doors happen.
I want to be adored.
You want to be a door? Could be a droid door. Just like an entire like
Walking
archway. Just open and close over people. Walk through me. Now walk into me. Walk through me.
The most dangerous droid in the galaxy.
Yeah, because if it's Star Wars doors, guillotine you become.
Yeah. Okay. I turn around and go. Excellent, and potter out.
Yeah, cool.
Pottering is my
Wander
mode of.
into science
I'd,
med lab.
What's that, sir?
We wander into the science med bay lab.
What one do you want to go into? The science lab or the med bay?
Science.
Med bay.
Cool.
I'll go with Member.
Cool.
But as I'm walking out, I'd probably constantly saying, Lily, it's fine, love. We managed to get out and we'll be with you shortly, don't worry.
Is that
Aw.
open comms?
Best pals.
No, that's calming Lily.
Okay.
Private comms, yeah.
I'm
Cool.
gonna.
In that case, you hear a "arr" is what you hear back. Arr.
Okay.
What were you thinking?
I'm gonna call Captain.
Yeah.
And say we're fine. Doors have opened.
Graham replies. I assume you didn't private comm, I assume you open comm.
Open comm, yeah.
Cool.
To both of them.
Just make sure I know that, just so that
Right.
when I have him reply, it makes sense that he replies. Since she hasn't replied, he's like, "Oh, well, good. Means you're good. Shit, more stuff." And then you hear Lily go, "Marr, marr." Over comms, open comms after he'd commed back to you, obviously, or she, he. No one's
They.
actually
She's
saying.
fluid.
No
She
one's-
is what she is.
All is all. So that's true. And I feel like that was like a drop for advertising there. Hidden subtly by me explaining it. Cool. So 2 for the med labs and 1 for the science bay.
Oh yeah.
Right, cool. In the med labs, there's like, it looks like a kind of properly like, not a totally up to date sci-fi infirmary or anything, but it looks like it's a fancier than our hospitals, but shittier than the cool sci-fi, if that makes sense. And lots of like storage containers have been opened and tipped out. There's stuff lying. The place is a mess. It is a mess. There is stuff everywhere, like smashed machinery. Like it kind of looks like someone just ran in and like had a party about throwing stuff in the air.
Okay.
Are you looking for anything specific, or just?
Of worth. Any utensils.
There's probably like, if you want to spend some time in this, Craig.
That's the reason why I've
Yeah,
been
it's like if you want to spend some time, there's probably enough to maybe make like 3 med packs out of the gear lying around,
Okay.
but it would take about an hour.
Right.
So it pretty much means that you wouldn't be out of air. You'd have enough to get back to the ship, but
Could I not just
you
like,
probably wouldn't want to do much
grab
else.
most of the raw materials? that I could
Literally
use?
trailing through everything in here
Oh.
will take that length of time.
Just trail the entire room to the ship. Kind of a big tarp.
No, because the only stuff of worth is what you're trying to clear through all the crap.
Right.
So it's like empty wrapper, empty wrapper, empty wrapper, tissue. Cool. That's useful. It's like this place is a tip, and it was a fairly large medical bay.
Yeah.
Like for example, if this table, right, the size of this table was the ship, right, and let's say your freighter is this, maybe even smaller. In fact, your freighter might even just be this.
Sure.
So you saw the floor plan for the freighter that you are on, which is the Tula Bamba. So this table is the size of the ship, and it's also in 3 dimensions, of course.
Yeah.
So like the med bay and science lab are probably like front half up, if you will, and it's that entire like area. It's fucking huge.
Okay.
So it's like an entire hospital.
Aha. This was a medical fair.
Right.
So just to kind of, now that you've kind of got a sense of the scale, because you wouldn't really have had just crawling through endless corridors really.
Yeah.
Other than, oh, we've took 17 lefts and 14 rights, fun. But you can pretty much scrape together like 3 medikits out of what you've got within like an hour, if you will, and then you probably want to maybe mosey back, or at least you've maybe got like, you've got time to like check out a couple of rooms, I guess, but it's just if you're looking for something specific. But I don't mean emergency med packs either. I mean full
med packs,
like packed up gear.
I guess I'd start doing that then. Cause
Yeah, I assume that's something you care about more than anything
Yeah.
else. What about Serendipity? Looking for anything in particular?
Anesthetic. Because I only have a couple of doses, I'd want to kind of gain some more of that, maybe no more toxic stuff as well.
Someone look for Bacta that we can sell on Tatooine.
Well, don't medkits come with Bacta? Or is that not?
It doesn't really say.
It
No.
didn't say it was in a med pack.
No? Is it just separate? In that case,
Like
like,
is separate.
if you want to have like wandered off to look at maybe kind of the kind of liquid storage areas, I guess, yeah, you can maybe like, you can be piecing together the actual equipment and tools and stuff that are like, you know, a one-use injection needle and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And maybe you've went off to like find that kind of
your
thing.
Fridges.
Cool. I'll let you know what you find in a second. Emma, are you heading into the science lab?
Yes, I am.
Cool. You walk in and there's like the way the kind of room splits off. They go off and there's this big, huge, vast kind of area, and you come up against like again another door. You tap in a couple of tries on the keypad, and it's like, you know, access restricted. Please insert like data key, blah blah blah. You have the data key for this. 'Cause
Excellent.
this is why you were here. So you pop that in, and like, you know, wherever your utensil pops out from, you jam it into the data port, and it spins around and does its twirly thing, and like the door pops open, and you're in the science lab. You walk in, the door closes behind you, but that's expected because it's it's like a slightly more secure area of the ship. And what you see is like, they're kind of like big kind of storage pods,
Okay.
and like they're probably the size of like a large kind of, what's the best description? Like a sleeping pod, if you will.
Okay.
And there's just rows of them down the wall. Like, again, remember the scale we're in.
I go and look at the nearest one.
Cool. There's like a readout, if you will, again in that language you speak now, Chis. And yeah, there's a person inside.
Ah.
Do you want to check any more? Like, I mean, everyone has a person
Yes.
that you can check with and save the next couple of minutes. You scout around.
Yeah.
Everyone has a person that you can see, and they'll have like blinking green lights.
Does anyone? Do they have any identification on of the person or rank or?
Like there's various names, but it's like patient data. So it's like patient 11910 whatever, blah blah blah. Like various code numbers and like their names if their names were given, but like there's nothing important. These are
Okay.
like if, let's say if you check like 50 names, or like there'd be no, patients don't really care, like you don't care what their job was, so it wouldn't be on there if that makes sense. But there's no pattern or anything.
Okay. I go back to the first one and kind of knock hesitantly.
No, like they're frozen. They're gone. They're asleep.
I open comms.
Sure.
Captain, there are organics.
There's nothing back.
In pods.
Nothing back.
Was this expected?
Nothing back.
I kind of close comms and kind of wait for a minute.
None of you's heard that, by the way.
Oh, excellent. But I don't know that.
Well, no one responded.
Okay.
But then again, Captain not responding is not unusual.
I open comms
It's
again.
almost like I set that up.
Yeah. I open comms again. Mr. Graham?
No reply.
Anyone?
No reply. You hear a foul wind blowing.
Through the pipes.
I go over to the. Is there like a main computer desk or area?
This corridor leads right down to heavy duty doors. Right the way down, like you pass 100 pods.
Excellent.
Like,
Jeez.
maybe 100, maybe more. Maybe there's 2 floors. Like, but you pass
Champion. Excellent.
that. You
Okay.
can just say 100. That's a nicer number. 100.
Okay, so I go down and.
Clank, 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 clank. Yep. You get there.
Yep.
Yep.
Can I go
Data port again.
through the door?
Yep.
Yeah.
Same. Lock in. Doors open. Big bay computer thing. Still fully powered, fully operational. Massive kind of huge data bank looking computer.
Okay, so I.
But literally, like, you're plugged in, and that's why the door's open. Like, you pull out, and it will like tick, 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 close. Like the door you came in.
So I can't get out once I'm in. There's no.
Well, I never said that, but you need to go in to know that.
Okay, I go in.
Cool. You're in the core computer room for the lab.
Excellent. I set about trying to download the files
So
that.
just literally what you were paid to do. Like,
Mhm.
plug in, download file, and leave.
No, just plug in and download the file
Cool,
because that's
you
my
done it.
primary. Okay,
Done with
good.
that. Yep. Obviously, it
Um,
might take time in the game, but like it's
yeah.
done.
I
It's only if you try to do stuff with the files is when I'd care about it. But if you're just doing literally what you're paid to do,
okay. I store it. I suppose I have a kind of hard drive
it's
thing.
stored within you. Yeah, it's in your memory bank.
Okay.
That's entirely up to my whim, by the way. That thing.
Okay.
That's maybe installed by Niska for you.
Okay. Is it something that I would have access to? Like, can I access the information?
Well, you know what you saved the file to it.
Okay. I just kind of scan the information.
The information's encrypted.
Okay. Okay.
As I remember, it was all file references you got. There
Yeah.
was no titles or anything. It was just like codes. So you basically download all those specific codes and it pulled the file to your hard drive.
Can I keep a copy for myself?
No.
Oh.
Like, you had to move the file.
Ah.
That's why they couldn't just like forward it on.
Okay. So there's no way to copy it so that I can also keep it.
You have it.
Just take a sledgehammer to rip my arm
Yourself.
off and start bashing. Okay. What
Just
else is
files in my shoe?
what else is in this room?
Just a computer. And a
Okay.
queue.
So I try to. Is there a tannoy system?
No.
God damn. Okay, I'd probably look for information on the patients. Because I would be concerned that they had been left out of the brief.
Sure. Yeah. Do you want to give me a computer roll for this?
Yes.
This might be tough because it is all encrypted.
Fabulous.
What's that? 2 green, 2 yellow.
2 green, 2 yellow. Yeah.
Cool.
No. Okay, that probably wouldn't work.
And see what it is before I roll it. That's what you're sitting at is the pool so far.
Can I flip a what's it?
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna flip one back.
Rude,
But possible.
but plausible.
Well,
But
here we
then,
are.
can I flip it back again?
Nope.
God damn. Okay, fine.
We can influence it once, you can influence it once, that's it.
Just to stop bullshit happening. So like constantly being
Fine.
downgraded or constantly being upgraded, you can then just negate it,
Fine.
so that you
Just-
just get like a kind of...
Go for it.
Actually, just roll the one thing. Let's roll all of them instead. Oh, fair enough. That all cancelled out just a failure. So you tap away and like you try and like pull up the computer code and stuff like that, and it's just like you're decrypting stuff, but before you can read it at all, the recryption is happening so quickly. So it's almost like it's not about the encryption being difficult to break, it's about the fact that it re-encrypts itself that fast is how this information defends itself. So basically it means it doesn't matter how good a hacker you are, it'll just re-encrypt constantly.
Okay. Any suggestions as to what I should?
Oh, what are you aiming to do right now?
I don't know. Find out why there's over 100 frozen people in a ship that, well, and we weren't told about them. Well, at least I wasn't told about them.
Do you have morals
Yeah, I'd like to think so.
as a droid?
Like would you search like every aspect of the computer system you can?
Yeah,
Like,
probably because I just want it's my.
one thing that is there then is power distribution.
Mhm.
As a thing that's not encrypted, that's just like a basic function of this computer.
Okay.
And it says power distribution, main line's damaged, and stasis chambers 100% okay. And the other thing just says vault offline.
I want to know everything. I want to know everything about them.
But it was encoded. And you
Yes.
filled that role.
Yes.
Cool.
What else can I do to find out about them? Can I roll education to know why people would be put in stasis
Well,
in this
like,
kind of environment? Or
could be anything. Like, I mean, people used to do it for travelling long distances. Like, I mean, it's some people just don't like the idea of like waiting like a week in hyperspace. Some people just like the idea like cheap mass cargo
okay.
is like frees people. They wake up. It takes less space because they don't need to eat or sleep or walk around in your ship or breathe air.
Right.
They're just popped in, frozen. But it's archaic. Like, that's not really done anymore. Like, hyperspace has existed for 25,000 years.
Okay.
So that's not a thing that really happens.
So this ship has only been missing for like 1 or 2 years.
5.
5. Okay.
But like, yeah.
And it's not been like a huge media scandal that hundreds of people have gone missing.
Yeah, like, it's a medical, like, company. Like, the galaxy's full like trillions of people.
Okay. Are
Well,
they
it's
all
like
human?
100.
Are they human? Are
No,
they
they were, like,
Jis? Are they?
All different races. Like, all different races.
Excellent. Okay. I'm
All
gonna-
able to fit in the same standardized size pods.
Good. Excellent.
Handed up.
Good job.
There is one hut there. Bit of a squeeze.
Okay, I go
The
back.
baby's heart like. There is not. For confirmation. Let's unfreeze that one first.
I go back to try and find the others.
Never go hungry again.
Cannibalism. So you don't do anything with the computer anymore? Just leave with the files?
Yeah, I think so. I will encrypt them. Decrypt. I will work out what they mean at a later date.
Yeah, that's fine. Beyond that, you guys doing anything specifically interesting? You, by the way, so I meant to get back to you actually. You walk through, like, again, maybe you wander off as like Thalia's putting together her med kits. She's basically like throwing off everything off a table and just started piling stuff she cares about onto a table and started piling it. And you're like, can you make sure there's an aesthetic and stuff? And you've basically said to her, can you keep a lookout for stuff I specifically want? So you've given her like a small shopping list of stuff and you're just like, I'm just making sure anything that's good will be on this table. And these will both heave it back. You wander off for a bit and you look further down and there's a row of full-size back to things. As in things people can be put in for like recovery. There's like maybe 3 still on, like, and by on I mean not smashed or drained, So there's 3 of them that still have full head to toe Bacta.
I want to see if there's any kind of receptacles I could decant them into.
I mean, there's probably shit tons everywhere. Yeah.
Well, those floaty movie pushy pod things, the cargo movie
You
transport
have a look for one
pods.
as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is there
you
a-
could legitimately try and like mechanics unhook one and take it, like the whole Bacta tank, and just have it as something you throw
them
people
all.
in to heal them.
Yeah.
I guess when Luke was in his weird nappy thing floating with his mask on, that's a Bacta tank.
Yeah.
Is the nappy necessary for the back tank?
Depends how long you stay in it.
Privacy.
Wonder if
Yeah, I would.
it erodes genitals or something. Science, medical
I
reasons.
think she's like putting supplies.
Always thinking about genitals.
Oh, his addiction is to sex.
Mm.
Do you want to give me a mechanics roll then for that?
No.
Disrespect.
That would be 1 and 1.
Sorry, I can't hear you over there.
1 and 1. 1 green,
Again.
1 yellow.
Tastes like you.
1 green, 1 yellow.
Yes.
Guys,
Slightly
that's
sinister, very dexter.
chaos. 1 green, 1 yellow, yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Let's see. Do you have tools?
Nope.
Let me just roll that. Well, re-rolling was way better for you. 2 success, 3 threat. You cut your suit on glass while trying to get through this. So you're maybe trying to unhook the nearest one to you, which is near like a broken thing. So as you're like pulling out cables and stuff, you like lean too far back and you've ripped a bit of your suit. You lose quite a bit of air, but you're obviously like you patch up and stuff. But your air supply is like fucked, basically. So you probably want to head back to the ship.
Yeah.
But you've got like you've unhooked the thing, so if somebody can come in and just like lift it, basically, or like find a grab belt or something, like as the droid suggested, like you can totally just like push it through corridors. Again, though, there is that outer door of the decontamination room to get past, but it's up to you guys.
That didn't open when we got decontaminated.
That the outer door stayed locked. The inner door opened.
Okay.
But you've unhooked the thing, so legitimately, if you can get it on like a grab belt thing, you can like you have like a full tank of Bacta.
Is there a grab belt?
Don't know. You've not looked for it.
Can I look?
Yeah, sure. But you probably want to be very brief about all this. Yeah.
Alright.
Like, let's say the trip back is like 20 minutes, right? And that's going at a let's not burn through my entire air supply speed. You've maybe got about 15 minutes of air. It's not great. But that's how long it took you to patch up whatever rip in your suit you had.
Is there air in here? Like tanks of oxygen?
Can I have a look?
Yeah.
Sure. Or do you want to just spend the destiny point and get it?
Yeah, can I have an oxygen tank?
Sure. Do you want to spend another one to get a grab belt?
Yeah.
Sure. Let's just do that. Guys are actually starting to spend your resources. And giving me more. So, beyond that, do you want to just basically tell them to like, well, let's say you buy enough time to wheel this out yourself.
Can I, with those 2 destiny points, find a grab belt, an oxygen
And find
tank for
oxygen.
myself, and 2 carbon dioxide tanks to help me with the propulsion?
Why don't you just spend that last destiny point and just make it a nice clean streak? Because not dying is a good use of a destiny point, I think, and then giving yourself an easier time of dragging a giant resource that's probably worth a fortune is also not terrible.
Yeah.
And then
It's worth 4,000.
then getting another destiny point, I mean, don't know, I mean, it is quite a big powerful resource. Maybe you want something better than just getting this thing out that you already know you can do if you get past this decontamination room door. I mean, maybe you want to keep a Bacta tank for yourselves. Maybe you want to try and stick around and get a second one, or a third. There were 3. It's up to you guys. Like, I don't know. how much
Take
time you
all
wanna
of
spend
them.
here,
Oxygen, yeah.
But as I said, Craig has about an hour of packing stuff up and getting medical supplies. So
Right.
beyond that, it's. I mean, this took you maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes to do it the first time, and that was without really knowing what you were doing.
Okay, now that I have oxygen again, I'll
And you're literally like duct taping it into the hole in your suit. Not the best use of oxygen because you might get a bit high, but
Don't get high on oxygen.
it'll do. Everything's high on oxygen. Remember, it's not air, it's oxygen.
I know. But you don't get high on oxygen.
This is space science.
Space science. I'm going to go with real
You
science.
know actual X react to O2.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's your science knowledge coming from, kid?
Not science fiction.
This isn't science fiction, this is space opera. So, beyond that, what are you going to do? You want the propulsion to get out quicker, or do you want to try and stick around and like Jimmy 2 more free? The only problem is that obviously you'll pretty much have to get them on board to like be dragging all of this back to the ship. And that does mean that you'll pretty much have to pull her away from whatever she was doing. You wanted to head back to them though, so by this point you could have caught up with them.
Is there more than one graph belt?
There can be. Depends how many tanks you decide to take. That's not really the important question. The important
All of
question is what
them.
is it you're trying to do? Remember, resources are
these.
incredibly abstract until you tell me what you want to achieve. Then I can decide how difficult achieving that will become.
I want to get these valuable medical supplies back to the ship.
What are the valuable medical supplies?
3 tanks of Bacta.
Right, okay. Cool. So you want to spend that last destiny point and maybe make that happen. Cool. You'll probably need to get someone to help with that, but that's up to you to deal with that. Who would you want to help with that? Keep in mind these things are huge and heavy.
Yeah.
And there's 3 of them. And I'm going to say that Brawn 1 ain't going to cut it.
Yeah.
They could maybe move 1 together,
Yeah.
but that leaves 1.
Okay. Oh, he's comms in.
Yeah, who do you want to call? Everyone or just
Ghostbusters.
Captain again.
Cool.
We
Private or open?
open.
Cool.
We found Bacta tanks. These are probably one of the most valuable things in the ship. If you could come help us retrieve them. We're on a time limit with oxygen. You guys probably are too. So come as soon as you can.
I haven't found, you hear Graham come on, and he's like, I haven't found any kind of override for anything called the Vault, have you? We're kind of staring at 2 pretty heavy duty doors here that we can't get past, but, you know, it's called the Vault.
Am I able to
It's
hear
open
this? then?
comms,
Okay, but I couldn't hear open comms before. Am I now
but
back
you're
into?
back with them,
Right.
remember?
Okay.
Open the mystery book. Open the mystery box.
I have located a computer system, Mr. Graham, that has mentioned the vault.
Did it mention how to open the Vault?
I didn't check, so I can do.
Said Bob was offline.
There we go.
It said all the power was going to the life support pods.
Mr. Graham.
To the Vault.
Mr. Graham,
It's almost like there's a choice.
I don't know if you caught my... Mr. Graham, I don't know if you caught my previous communications. There are organics back here. Several of them.
Yeah, you've got 2 Twi'leks with you.
No, sir.
Sir, is it now? That's the first time in
Over
10
100.
space units.
Over 100, Mr. Graham. In stasis pods.
We got people alive.
All indications suggest so.
They look rich.
That,
They were like wearing medical gear. They were like wearing like patient outfits.
that is a very organic construct, Mr. Graham. I couldn't say.
But you said we could open the vault.
In order to do so, sir, I believe I would have to...
Well, you go find out if you can open the vault. If you can, let me know. We'd like to see if there's something valuable in the vault. And then that probably means we'll get more money. And, I mean, Captain's nodding their heads. Vault is a go. We are go for vault. But, you know,
If you believe it's for the best, Mr. Graham, I will try.
Well, if you can get it open, you can get it open, and then we might get more money.
Okay, I put it back.
And comms are stopped, I guess. Right, you've packed up all your shit, basically. Or you will have done. You can chuck it on a grab belt as well, or tape it to stuff. Again, you two would need to move one of these things together. Captain heads up to where you guys are, so does Graham, basically. To be like, right, cool, we've packed up the ship, with everything from the cargo bay, there's just a vault left. Where are these people? And obviously, then Graham takes one of the tanks back. Assuming you take one back, and do you both take one back, or what are you doing?
I'd probably stay with the computers.
Cool. In that case, we're willing to leave one of the third tank, because
I'll get it when I leave.
Sure.
But I'm not leaving
yeah,
this in because I
decontamination.
need to
By the
know
way, they
things.
managed to get through it. It literally is just you just had to go and push the button to make it recycle back, and then they just stepped in and out. And,
Success has been successed.
yeah.
Good job,
Yeah,
team.
the threat and the despair I've spent for you. So, yeah. What do? Do you take them into the...
Yes, I take them into the thing and I show them the people. How many are there exactly that I can see?
Well, you passed 100 of them.
100 exactly.
Yeah. To the corridor you were in, you passed 100 of them down to the
Okay.
computer core. But that's sort of the one floor. You never explored further. You went there and you came back.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, as I said, the captain is with you. Graham probably went back to the vault doors, basically waiting on that opening with guns ready and so. It's like a rifle or something. That probably makes more sense because I give everyone pistols in my head and then don't think it's just stereotyping. So give him a rifle.
So I'm walking with the captain down there.
Sure, yeah.
So I turned to her and said, Captain, were you aware of the presence of these organics?
Now what accent do I give her?
Russian.
French Canadian.
Mexican.
My instinct was Russian.
Yeah, I love
because
Russian.
I can do that. I
Go
can't do those.
Russian Twi'leks.
My Mexican is so racist, it's unbelievable,
No,
and I don't want to
do
go
that.
there.
Russian. Russia.
There is nothing on manifest. I
What?
heard sexual, not racist. I feel like Kristen Wiig again. Maybe that's what she sounds like.
It's a common occurrence for you in your life.
You didn't,
Every other day.
you didn't hear me in the cinema. So anyway,
What is protocol here, Captain?
money.
Should we not take them with us?
How many floors?
Do I know?
Do you? Probably not.
4.
She looks at you to say, that's a, you just RNG'd that shit.
Then I don't say 4.
That's random number generated, by the way. No, like, if you wouldn't know.
Okay.
Like,
Are we at the
like,
computer?
literally, like, there's many corridors, but this core, like, this line is just 100. But the science lab's huge. It's just,
Okay.
you haven't explored anymore.
Are
Because it's
there
all, like,
any-
individual labs within, so it's like corridors you're seeing, but there was a whole row of storage, which was where all these pods were.
Okay, on the computer, does it say how many life signs there are or how many pods it's supporting?
Capacity is 500 pods, 312, 312 that'll do. Those are occupied and online.
Okay.
The
then
rest
I
are offline.
tell this to the captain.
She looks it over, like the data that's coming. It's like, it looks like power has been failing. Because it looks like they were full. There was 500 pods full, and they're down to 312. So the power has been failing slowly.
Is that my fault?
How would you know that?
Oh, probably. I don't.
Do you care?
Ship is old. Don't worry. I have become incredibly like a colossus in my head.
Go be a big to somebody.
My daughter, teenage, was it? Negasonic teenage warhead.
Okay, can so
Do
on
you
the
feel bad about the fact that, like, you know, almost 200 people, like 100 and what was it, like 188 people have died? Does that bug you?
have they died? Is that it?
Oh, it's offline.
No stasis. Drown. Unless they're taken out.
Depends why you're in stasis.
What do?
I love that you actually have the answer to that. But you haven't opened the file.
Can I?
I told you it's heavily encrypted.
Can I try again?
You were told not to look at it though, remember? You
That's
were
not
looking
it.
at pick it up, take it,
No,
deliver it,
so
done.
I would look at it
Also,
anyway.
when you open it, it will be open and it will be very obviously opened. Because you cannot recreate the encryption
dear.
that was on this. This is encryption you have never seen before.
Okay, but you know what? My what's-its to know things. So
Well, as you're kind of like pondering over all this, since this seems to be taking up processing power of your brain,
yeah.
literally as a computer, she starts poking around with the computer, being like, how to transfer power to Vault?
I'd probably indicate how to.
And she goes to calm Graham, Mr. Graham, and be like, we're transferring power now. And then pushes the button. And it just slowly switches. All the pod lights kind of just go zip, 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 zip.
Oh
And the vault goes bing.
no!
You didn't stop her, so.
No, but
Okay. So
Cool. We'll camera pan from there. It'll fly through all the corridors, all the way back into the big cargo bay, expansive area. Zooms in right past, obviously, Graham's expression, and then it just like flips. So he starts to smile, and it flips the camera around from behind his head, and you just see the vault doors go, and we'll end.
no.
Because we are at 8 minutes past 11. So,
No.
door puzzles, everyone. Yeah, and we'll wrap that up next week, as I believe that won't take very long, because it'll be a case of getting in the vault and then leaving with the stuff, I imagine, or the rank, or wherever happens to be in the vault, or an empty room that you've just killed 312 people
Oh
for.
no.
Possibly 500, depending on what you find out about the power distribution systems.
My God.
baby Sarlax.
I don't want to have killed people. I didn't
well,
want to start with 500 deaths.
experience.
Kill
Genocide
count.
is what you're
Kill
doing.
count in the back.
You start scoring on
Right.
yourself.
Right, 500 question mark. Right, so,
I'm gonna start it. Kill
really?
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Feel free to write 500 question mark. I will confirm that if you get information to confirm that.
Getting a kill count.
But technically, the captain did kill 312 of them, so I think she's winning. Experience. Everybody gets 5 as per the standard, but who thinks what? I don't think. Were you were here for the first time I did this one? Yeah, cool. I know that takes one too. Good. So, anything? What are you going to fight for?
We did a mechanic thing. Can't remember what it was.
I did say last time, because I think the people were totally trying to stretch their armor, like, you know, like take a mile. Doing things your character's able to do doesn't benefit it. Doing amazing things that you were like, wow, my character looked so cool at doing that, that looked way more better than I should have been able to.
There was something I did and you kind of commented on it and I was like, I need to remember that, but then I forgot.
Cool. Well, as soon as you remember that, let me know.
Yeah, it was something to do with mechanics.
Right?
Like you said, that's thinking with mechanics.
Oh, that would be the decontamination room, would it not? Like, you know, actually cycle the whole thing through. Like, you know, actually saying, maybe this can, you know, maybe if you actually let the decontamination cycle run.
Yeah, there was that, but then there was something before.
So, how do we think, you guys?
We worked together to open a door, which was quite cute.
Yeah, teamwork is not getting rewarded.
Oh.
Like, that should just be instinctive.
Fine.
Not with everyone.
Justify it to me, Craig. Go.
So-
That's what this
Some
is about.
people are lone wolves, like this one, and this one has no emotion.
Well. Rude.
I'm just
I
saying
feel like
things now.
You've been the most insulted character
Why
so
is
far.
everyone picking on the droid? It's
'Cause you're a
so
droid.
It's
unfair.
not even your property. That's
your point.
That's so rude. But it's good for my character because I don't like that.
But what I find interesting
Don't like
is
it right now.
your long-term goals may actually sync up quite well, but we'll find out how that goes. But anyway, yeah, you're second on 5 XP. Come on, guys. Do your team proud. Go out in a high note, Craig.
Sorry?
Go out in a high note.
My distress beacon.
That was funny.
It got people to the right area
You want 5 XP
for
screaming.
for redirecting this one from the wrong area to head towards the correct
Who's to
location.
say the captain's quarters wasn't tuned into everything? Who's to
It
say
might
there
have been, but
who's
we
to say
ended
there
up
wasn't, like,
exactly where we needed to be.
Who's to say there wasn't a fancy captain sniper rifle up there?
That's fine. There could have been, but that's not the point.
I mean, we just don't know. So, any advance on 5, your peers will judge you.
What kind of things? should
Well,
we
you
do?
tell like, what did you enjoy about this particular session more than the rest of it? Like, that's the type of stuff that you need to like be on the ball for. So that you basically want to try and justify going, I think we should get XP because this part was really cool, and I liked how this played out, or I didn't expect this to happen, but I like how we did this to overcome that, or I like how Lily stuffs her face full of crackers. Like, you need to work it into how
I
it
like how
was.
she was stress eating.
Our,
She was worried about her BFF.
Thalia, it's my favourite NPC so far.
our whole
Really
thing
good.
about me just calling her the droid. Just being kind of don't really care about robots.
No, I thought you were all for like non-human rights and stuff though. Or does that not quite extend to robots?
Non-human organic. Right? I would think.
Okay, no, like if you want to like modify that to be more specific, to go like droids to you are machinery because you're a mechanic,
Yeah.
and like, but I like that mostly because I'll give you 5 XP if you're going along the lines of you see yourself as less than fully organic now because of your legs, so it's almost a resentment. Because it would probably be a resentment. Like, I mean, your legs were cut from you, from your backstory. So, I mean, I kind of like the idea that maybe that's another reason why you just don't like as a mechanic, machines fulfill a function. They don't have conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how you want to take that, but like, if that's the way you're going to go with that, I'm totally okay awarding 5 XP for that. So we're at 10. Any
Yeah.
advance on 10?
Figuring out the door puzzle, but it took a bit long.
No, I'll give you 5 for that, yeah.
Yeah, I like all of what we have going as characters.
Yeah, me too. That's why I put people together in an RP. Yeah, totally. I wouldn't have
The
brought someone in that wouldn't have worked with the group.
the clunking around of yourself in a dark environment when you have night vision goggles, only to bump into something for your glasses to fall down to be corrected by
Science.
a wall or whatever you bump into. Enjoy that.
Still no idea what you had?
It was before we got the first door open, I think.
So, what?
But I can't.
What was this? What mechanics?
Yeah. At some point before, I think before we got the first open, Ryan just turned to me and said, "That's thinking with your mechanics," or that's a mechanics way of thinking. But I can't remember what it was.
Wasn't it really like it was? I think it was before you
It's to do
even
with-
realised it was a door. I think you actually just said it's probably a door clanking.
That's what
opening
it
noise,
is.
Yeah.
because you've turned the power on for the ship, so blah blah blah.
Yeah,
blah,
we
blah.
turned the power on. That's what it was.
Yeah, like that's I'd say that's worth it because you actually used common knowledge from you as a person to be like, oh, you had turned power on the ship, so things always come alive. So clank clank clank, bump bump bump, things will happen. Cool. Yeah, I'll happily settle at 20 on
Yeah.
that. I'm gonna say it was scraped,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But yeah.
But again, I'm willing to if you guys can justify it, I'll go with it. But it needs to be something that I need it to be like. You can't just do it every week. It needs to be something that was special about this particular session. So it's not something like, oh, I wrote mechanics really well. Good, that can happen in any session. That doesn't matter. But what did you do with the resources you got from it is more important. So did you think, maybe if we just rip off the hinges instead of actually dealing with the tough door or whatever, like being a wee bit more clever. But yeah, I think 20 XP for that. And unless there's anything else, anything. Sadness at losing Craig from regularity, but not entirely. I'll have that recorded. But yeah, I'm good. If you sir.
Yeah. Good job, team.
Baby Sarlacc.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't try and wing it 5 XP for Baby Sarlacc. Like nibbling on a toe for 1,000 years.
Cute.
All my non-existent fans, goodbye.
Episode 6, Dead Space.